What up, what up, what up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? You back in the lab with your man, marqnash. He is I am he. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. Let's get into it. Look, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, is the topic on the docket of the day. Should Wilder retire? Will he retire? Could he be champion again? Does he still have anything to offer to the sport? I was looking at this. It said my man Wilder said he's going to take this psychedelic drink. He said he's going to use that to decide if he's going to continue on his career or not. What you guys think? We'll talk about all of that and more. Let's run the show runner. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Let's get it.
This is my passion. This is what I love to do. But some days, sometimes, I'm just like you, man. I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Man, I hate my job. From a good dream I wake, sun rays on my face, planning out my day, hoping this ain't the one that I catch a case. I feel so good, I feel so straight. My manager keep calling me saying, hurry up, you late. Hurry up, you lay off. Y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Been trying to play it cool, but it's hard to play it off. I've been hanging on to this bush, cause my car still ain't paid off. I know I'm on my way up, my boy just got laid off, so y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. These hooks here so ratchet, these hooks here so sneaky. Y'all don't even really pay enough for y'all to only pay bi-weekly. I'm trying to double up my cash, take this job, shove it up your ass. Yo, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. We're the reason why your stockholders always stay afloat. Yet I'm asking, are they hiring? Like everywhere I go, schedule will say 9, but I think it's fine if I clock in at 9:04. I work 40 hours a week plus overtime just to be bro. So y'all, man, I hate this job. Hate that I applied. So much has transpired since the day that I was high. Told me I could advance, but you were telling me lies. Gotta give your notice before I quit, but you don't say shit right before I'm fired. Damn, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. You and your procedures, you and your protocol, you and your policies, none of that shit don't apply to me. You and your quotas, you and your standards, you and your 2 sick days a year. Y'all niggas bananas. Wonder why the postman's posted with hammers, going postal with Popo on camera. His wage got him enraged, stressed out, it's hard to maintain. He flips the middle, grabs his. He said, if you don't get the picture, I quit, you ain't shoot. Mother, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Look, man, I hate this job. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you. I'm out here trying to take care of my family. Damn, I hate this job. It's not always glamorous, for real, but I do what I gotta do for me and mine, you know? Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you, nigga. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I my job.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and or the host. They do not explicitly nor necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during the program. Basically, if I didn't say it, don't come for me. You come for the person who said it. And please don't sue me for somebody else's words. With that said, let's start the show, motherfucker.
This that squad side.
Yeah. What up, though? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? Welcome home to everybody in the neighborhood to another great episode of Breaking Beats. You already know what we're going to do. We're going to break down the business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like talking about. Look, it's a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We're going to let the jokes fly because life is serious enough. How y'all feel? What's the deal? What's going on right here? Let me give everybody their love and support. Thank you so much for pulling up, for your time and your energy. I don't take it for granted. I definitely don't take it for granted. Shout out to everybody who's here early. Well, not here early because I'm late, but it's all good.
What up?
Turn them drops down a little bit. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to my guy D-Ray. What up?
What up?
Shout out to Flawless.
What up?
What up, Ty?
What up?
Appreciate you. Who else is here early? Shout out with Cooking with Sir Senior. What up, homie?
What up?
Hey, look, man, I saw this story going on about Deontay Wilder. Did y'all hear this story? We got to talk about it. Will Wilder retire? Should Wilder retire? Do you think he'll become champion again? I got a survey in the chat. Foul player, what up, homie? What's good? What's the deal? How you feel?
What up?
Got a survey in the chat. I'm asking y'all, will Deontay Wilder retire? Should Deontay Wilder retire? Let's jump right into it. I got this article I was looking at, and I want to know what y'all think of this story. Now, I saw this on the Daily Mail. I saw it on Boxing Scene. Saw it on World Boxing News, Boxing 24. It's been everywhere. So we're going to talk about it. Let me share my screen so y'all know what I mean when I say these things. We got to talk about it. And I'm going to open the phone lines up, and I'm going to get your opinion, and we're going to chop it up. Let me share my screen so y'all know what I mean when I say this thing. Bruce Goes. What it do? Bruce.
What up?
What you smoking on, champ? Let me share my screen so y'all know what I mean, right? All right, here we go. We got to talk about it, family. We got to talk about it. And what is this psychedelic drug that he's talking about he's going to take? I don't know what this is, but we'll figure it out as a family, as a unit, as a team, as a collective group. All right, let's talk about it. All right, so y'all can see. All right, will Deontay Wilder fight again? Now, how do I pronounce this? Anybody going to help me with this one? Let me see. Let me look this up because I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Let me look this up. I don't even know how to pronounce it. How you pronounce this? Ayahuasca? Let me try to figure this out. Let's do this. Okay, it's pronounced Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. Okay. I don't know. Oh, they'll have they got a retreat here in Georgia. Okay. Let me hear how I say it.
Ayahuasca.
Okay, ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
One more time.
Ayahuasca.
All right, that's how it's pronounced. All right, let's talk about it. Shout out to everybody who see everybody pulling up. All right, so ayahuasca. All right, let's talk about it. As fans know, Deontay Wilder has come out with some pretty odd, bizarre statements over the years. Now, I don't agree with that. Let me skip through some of this. He said, "Oh yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, that was kind of odd. I want a body on my record. Those were the claims that he had said when he said Fury cheated numerous ways, and other weird stuff. This is the editorial written by James Slater. Here we go. Wilder might have gone a step further with his latest comment regarding a psychedelic drug and the fact that he's considered taking it as a way to decide if he will carry on his boxing career or not. Speaking with Byron Scott on the podcast, the former long-reigning WBC heavyweight champion said he is thinking of taking the drug ayahuasca in an effort to make up his mind, or have his mind made up for him, I guess you would say. Will he continue to stay in the sport? Here's the quote. I'm thinking about doing ayahuasca. That's going to be my decision-making process, Wilder said. Boxing put a bad taste, I guess a bad taste in my mouth because of what it's done to me. It's dangerous, politics, cheating. I still have love for the sport, though. Seems like, and this is where the editorial comes back in. He said Wilder hasn't fully accepted the fact that Fury beat him twice. He did earn plenty of respect and admiration from his fans due to his effort that he put up on the October 9th trilogy fight that he took place with Tyson Fury. Here we go. Let me ask you guys something. I don't know a lot about ayahuasca, and that's what he's saying too. He said, I don't know any. Okay, he don't know anything about it. Me neither. He said, maybe you do, but the idea of taking it in an effort to decide whether you're going to continue to do something such as important as fighting, you know, what you guys think of that? I'll skip the rest of this editorial for now, but that's what we at with it, guys. It's another version of the story. I could pull that one up too. Somebody said after hearing that, it sounds like he's done with boxing. I don't know. It sounds like he could be, bro. Sounds like he could be done with it. Let me see what else they saying. Bruce said, everywhere, salute. Okay, that's D-Ray saying salute. HLD, what up, my G? What's popping? Okay, there's a bunch of salutes going on. Everybody saying what's up to everybody. Cool. Yo, shout out to Ty with the $2. He said retirement. I'm out. Peace. He said retire. I'm out. Peace. Damn, he ain't fucking with Deontay Wilder. Okay, let me give him a drop though. Thank you for the $2 donation, my brother. I'm giving a drop.
I'll give you the $2. You give him the $2. All right, pay him the $2. Oh, pay the $2.
Yeah, man. I'm curious. What do you guys think about him taking the IU? Now I messed it up again. How you say it? Say it again.
Ayahuasca.
How do you guys feel about that? Does anybody out there know about ayahuasca? Do they have an experience taking it? Shout out to my guy, Right Side. What up, though?
What up?
What's popping, Right Side? Yeah, Sir Senior, how you feel about that? Are you familiar with this? You ever heard of it? Ty, you ever heard of it? He said, I'm out as in going to bed. Deuces. All right, good night, my brother. Good night, Ty. Appreciate your time and energy. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. And if you didn't, smash it on the way out the door. Make sure I got this device plugged up so we don't get short circuit here. Look, man, I'm not familiar with this ayahuasca. I'm not that familiar with it. But I'm of the firm belief, man, I don't think Deontay Wilder needs to retire. I mean, he has to retire. It's up to him. Of course, that's his decision. Hold on one second. Let me plug this in. I mean, that's his decision. He put in his time. He damn sure made a hell of a lot of money boxing. If he made good investments, and I'm sure he did, he'll be all right. Especially what cost of living in Alabama isn't like it is in New York City or LA, right? But guys, he only lost to Tyson Fury. Y'all think he should retire? He said pay him the $2, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's one of the strongest psychedelic drugs. Really? Is it stronger than mushrooms? Never heard of it. Let me open these phone lines up. I definitely want to talk to the neighbors. Google Voice. Hope y'all had a good Valentine's Day with your loved ones, whoever you chose to kick it with. All right, so I got the phone lines open. Let me make sure I got this squared away so you guys can hear me and I can hear you. So, boom. All right, cool. But the ayahuasca, man, like, what do y'all think of him taking that as using that to decide whether he's going to fight or not? You think that's a bad look? Here's the thing. He knew boxing was dirty and corrupt before he got into business. Shit, he knew that before he did the last Fury fight. He actually pressed to get that fight done. I don't know. Somebody said, who told him it has the answer? JD as respect. JD. Oh, who told him it has the JD told him that? Somebody said it's a rap, bro. No, don't say it's a rap. He can't do so. Y'all don't think he can be champion again? He can't beat Joshua. Would y'all still want to see him fight Joshua? Can he beat Usyk? She said, Cersei said, that is some crazy hope. He ain't taking that credit. Oh, crazy dope? You mean dope? He ain't taking that credit. It's supposed to be addictive. I hope not, then. I hope he don't take nothing addictive. That's one of the strongest psychedelic drugs. D-Ray, he said, we always around. That's what's up. It's a tea. Yeah, you can drink it as a tea. I did read that. Somebody said I need to research that. I'm still researching it, homie, in real time. Somebody said, shout out to Jank. Is that Jonk? Let me make sure I got the screen pulled up. Is that Jonk? Jonk? How you say that? Is that Jonk? Or is the J silent and it's oink? Or is it Spanish and it's honk? But Nate the Great, he said, what up, marqnash? Salute to you, my brother. How you feel? What's the deal?
What up?
What's popping, homie? Let me see this. I'm trying to figure out, what do y'all think of this? Let me go to this other version. I seen the story as well on another site. Let me see how they talking about it. Okay, they talking about Wilder drop Fury, and they talking about that, but let me get this call. I'll be right back. It's not ringing. Hold on. It's not even okay, let me try this again. Damn, it's not even letting me answer the phone, so bear with me, D-Ray. Oh, there we go. D-Ray, what's popping, my G?
What's up, marqnash?
What's the deal? How you feel, homie?
I feel excellent, man. How you do?
I'm blessed, man. Talk to me.
Hey, man, well, he didn't have that stuff when he decided he was going to be the heavyweight champion. He didn't speak it, believe it, and receive it, and say nothing about none of this, whoever or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to do that, I'm cool with it, man. But like they saying, that's like a foot and a half already out on retirement. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Continue, though. I'm listening.
Well, I mean, Fury, man, Fury made him have some life-altering decisions. You know what I'm saying? He changed the way he gonna make decisions about what's gonna affect him and his family's life. You know what I mean? For the rest of it, bro. I mean, if that's the thing, I say just forget boxing, enjoy your family, enjoy your life. You know, and I'm sure he got a lot of business adventures and different things that he can be a part of, and already probably is a part of. And, you know, he can still be selling this merch, and he come talk to marqnash right here on the network.
Absolutely.
I mean, man, because look, bro, you cannot play boxing. You can't go in there. I mean, even sparring, as we've seen, can cost you time and money and mess up everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with the fact of like Gary Russell, he going in there with one arm. You know what I mean? Now, if Wilder's going in there to fight again and he's talking like that, then Al, they been telling him sit his big ass down, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying if he really care about him, you know. You ain't gonna let your guy go out with them keys when he acting crazy, right? You gonna snatch the keys and be like, hey man, you might take them from me, but at least I gotta try to take them. You know what I'm saying? If I think that's in your best interest. You know?
So you
kind of like Kell Brook, right? When Kell Brook wanted to fight Terrence Crawford, his longtime promoter or whoever trainer was like, "Hey, well, I'm out of that because I ain't feeling it." You know what I'm saying? Not saying he was right or wrong, but in his own, plan of what was best for Kel, that didn't fit. You know what I mean? And so, but go ahead, bro. I'm just saying, man. I think really, like, if he would have just, he the strategy or whatever, I would say, going into the third fight was like totally not what it was going to take to get the job done, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I think he needed to have movement, be light on his feet and, try to use his reflexes and protect himself, when Fury come in. And I don't know, man. I mean, if he ain't going to do that, but maybe he gonna smoke that stuff and he gonna be like, damn, I should have danced on Fury ass. You know what I'm saying? If he tuned in to marqnash tonight, he would have learned that. Go ahead, marqnash. Talk to him.
I appreciate it, man. You're welcome to call back anytime, bro.
Thank you, fam.
God bless. God bless. Shout out to my guy D-Ray. All right, good call from D-Ray. Good call. Good call. Phone lines are open. 470-705-9507. 470-705-9507. He said, is it like the toe Mike Tyson be talking about? Nah, that's something different. I just looked at right side. That's something different. He said joink, laughing my ass off. What's the drug? The drug is called ayahuasca. It's called ayahuasca, bro. I'll put it in the chat and I'll put it on the screen. Why would he tell people this? I don't look, that's his business, and he the former champ. Shout out to the champ. He could do whatever he want to do. I just think it sends it looks bad. It's called ayahuasca, Rob G Film. I put it in the chat so y'all can Google it yourself and do your own research. Still looking this up. I'm just figuring out like why. Like I think D-Ray made a good point. You didn't have to drink that ayahuasca to decide if you was gonna start boxing. You didn't have to drink that ayahuasca to decide if you was gonna Okay, for some reason it's not ringing over here. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. It's not even ringing. Hold on, let me see. 478. Hang up and call right back. I don't know why it's not ringing on the main line. Hang up and call right back. 478. Try to do this. Figure out what's going on. Apple Air, check. Let me see. Yeah, that was weird. It didn't even ring. Okay, we'll hang up. 478. I'm gonna put a different phone number on the screen. Try this other number. Let me try this, y'all. Bear with me. Try this other phone number. For some reason, that one is not ringing. I'm not getting any calls over here. So let me do this. I don't know how deep. If it just rang for D-Ray though, so I don't know why that worked like that, but it didn't ring for you. So bear with me. Let me figure out why this is not working. Try this number. Let me put the other phone number on the screen. Try to call. Bear with me. Try to call this number 446921766. Let's see if it'll ring that way. For some reason, it didn't ring for you. 478. It's ring. So try that number 404-692-1766, and I'll get you right on air. But yeah, taking calls. Want to know what you guys think. Why? Hold on 1 second, y'all. 478. Did you call what number did you call? Did you call 1766?
No. This one time, man. I called 9507.
Hang up on. Call back on 404-692-1766. I got the number on the screen now.
Okay, bet.
All right. No, what's going on with this? I don't know why it's doing that. It's not didn't ring. All right, so we'll figure that out. Damn, that was crazy. Don't know why, but yeah, like D-Ray said, he didn't have to. Did he drink the ayahuasca to decide if he was going to box? Did he drink that before the Olympics? Did he drink that to decide if he was going to be the champ? He said, Mark, they reporting Wilder will smoke crack on pay-per-view. You stupid. Flawless. He said, what do you think of this topic? Good. Right. Jonathan said it's similar to toad, stronger than mushrooms. That's somebody said never heard of it. Yeah, that's crazy right there, man. I think it sends a bad look though. 446921766. Call that number. Let me see if the phone's gonna ring. I do not know why we're not getting the calls. Yeah, that was crazy. So let me open this other one up. Google. Crazy times we living in, guys. Where let me see. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm trying to make sure we can get these calls in. Four calls. All right, there we go. 401. 401. You got the gun. All right, there we go. Shout out to my guy Bruce. What up, my G?
Marqnash, what's happening, my brother?
Talk to me, man. You got the flow. How you been, my guy?
Well, being a veteran of the 70s, bro, I've done psychedelics dozens and dozens of times, man.
Talk to me.
I've seen all kind of gurus come out with being next step, the psychological cure. You know, you go under these trips. Somebody takes you back to where it all began. I mean, there's crazy shit, but they're all the same, bro. I mean, you know, LSD, mushrooms, this new stuff here, Ayahuasca, whatever the fuck it's called, DMT, LSD. They all do the same thing, man. They distort reality in your mind. You know, the physical concept. But you have to control it with your, your mind has to control the LSD trip, or else it's going to control you. So that's where the problem lies. Some people go out so far they never come back, and that's where only the strong mind that knows it's only a drug will be able to survive it. Now, Deontay Wilder, he has to realize that this is not going to bring him. He's not going to see Jesus when he takes this drug. You know what I'm saying, bro?
What you mean?
You can be very open to suggestion. People can tell you different things, and you can believe them. And I mean, you're fucking with your mind.
Sound like roofies or some shit.
Well, anything that distorts reality, and sometimes you think that that this distortion is reality. So it's very dangerous, man. You know, a lot of people that aren't qualified to distribute it and deal with it on a psychological basis are opening up clinics in different parts of different countries. And I mean, it's kind of a big thing amongst the rich and famous.
So what do you think? Do you think he should retire? Will he retire? Can he become champion again? What say you?
I honestly think he's done everything he can do, man. I think he's going to make the Hall of Fame. I think he should retire.
Oh, he should retire.
Yeah, I think so, man. Personally, that's just my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Shout out to my guy Bruce. Bruce, you want to plug your channel?
Yeah, man. Anybody want to sub to me? Go over to Bruce Goes Boxing, Jazz, and more, man. I'm going to do a show with my brother Big Duke 24 on bodybuilding on Wednesday at 5:00, man. Anybody want to come over there? We're going to talk about the highs, the lows, the nutrition, the drugs, everything that goes along with it, man. I'm going to be with an experienced bodybuilder. So peace out, my brother Marqnash, man. Thanks for having me on here, bro.
Anytime, Bruce. Thanks for being here, bro. God bless.
Later, bro.
All right, phone line's open. I only can talk to one person at one time, yo. So if you call while somebody on the line, I can't get to you. I'm sorry. But the phone lines is open 44692-1766. 44692-1766. We're asking everybody, what do you think of Wilder saying he's going to take the ayahuasca? Do you think that's good? I like where we're going here. I like the conversation. I like what we have. Megazar said, I can't wait to cook on this. Okay, for sure. I got you. I'm gonna drop the link in a second. D Bevel the champ, he said, what up? Let me give him a drop. Shout out to you, D Bevel. Thanks for supporting the content.
I'll give you the $2. You give him the $2. All right, pay him the $2. Oh, pay the $2.
He said, salute to Bruce Goes and Marqnash. 100. Fire boxing talk. Appreciate it, my brother. Bruce was on the phone right side. You can call in now. Flawless. I ain't saying self-meds of this type. Yeah. D-Ray, you had a good point, though. D-Ray, I think you probably had best call so far. Did he have to do that stuff when he decided he was going to box? Did he do that for the Olympics? Did he do that when he won his championship? Was he doing that to decide what he was going to continue fighting when he was? I just don't like the implications. It sounds defeated sometimes. I wouldn't tell anybody to turn to drug use of any type. And like I said, I'm not here to bash the dude, you know what I'm saying? But not gonna make excuses for it neither. Like, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take your wins with your losses. This man was out saying he wanted to kill somebody, bro. You want to catch a body. That turned some people off. In my opinion. Turned some people off. This was right after Patrick Day, too. The Boxing Scholar. What up, though? What's popping, my G? How you feel? What's the deal, Boxing Scholar? What up, though?
What up?
What you think of this story right here? Deontay Wilder is contemplating retirement. He said he's gonna take some ayahuasca to help him get his mind right, help him make up his mind. How you feel about that? That's the topic on the docket. Can he still be a champion again? Does he still have more to offer to the sport? Are his best days behind him? D Bevel the champ. He said, salute. Right side said he waiting for the link. Okay. Let me see. Somebody said because it's African. Stop it. Feel you, Jonathan. I respect that. Respect you. Like, nah, man. Joey Chad said, just say no. Just say no. Royce, he said, haven't heard anything about Deontay Wilder. When did this come up? I went over the story earlier, but I can share my screen, my brother. You know me, whenever we talk about these stories, we always try to cite the sources, homie. We try to cite the source. We don't just wing it. Here we go. Just Google. If you Google Deontay Wilder, that's what's going to pop up. Just Google Deontay Wilder. I'll share the screen. Here we go. So you'll know what I mean. Bam. Share the screen. Google. When you Google Deontay Wilder, this is what pops up. Let me take him off the screen so you'll know what I mean when I say these things. Boom, boom, boom. First thing to pop up, Deontay Wilder may look to a psychedelic drink to aid retirement decision. Deontay Wilder is still unsure about his future in the sport. Will Deontay fight again? Will Ayahuasca really help him make up his mind? Deontay Wilder future thrown in doubt with new psychoactive brew. Let's view more. Deontay Wilder is planning to try psychedelic ayahuasca to go on a spiritual journey. Somebody said, yeah, here's the sun in the mirror. So you see what I'm saying? This was news. The champ. Everybody's reporting on this right here. Well, not everybody. Some people are. Sky Sports, Deontay Wilder warned. Okay, this was old. But yeah, that's where we at with it, man. He did a podcast with Byron Scott, and that's what he talked about. Talked about taking this psychedelic drug to help him decide his future in the sport. Let me see what they're talking about. And then we'll open up the phone lines. The phone lines are open already. 446-927-1766. Call me now. Let me know what you think. Wilder's IQ, no disrespect, but never did impress me in the ring. And now he got his fans second guessing his sanity. Interesting. Megazar said, let's get these likes up to 40 at least, man. Come on, Marq is the greatest facilitator on YouTube. Show some love. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Let me give you the drop right here. Appreciate it. Yeah, smash the like button. And I agree. Yes! Appreciate it. Shout out to Right Side. He said, anything messing with the mind makes me nervous. A sober mind is when you make your best decision. Don't let that stuff needs your mind up. He said, don't let that stuff mess your mind up. I guess he mean mess your mind up. But shout out to Right Side. Let me give him a drop. Let me give him a $5 drop. Thank you for the love and support, my brother.
I got 5 on it.
Okay. Jonathan said, this isn't drug use though. It's therapy. Okay, cool. There is studies on the positive effects of ayahuasca and mushrooms on PTSD and depression. Maybe, okay, well, maybe that's why it's been advised to him. Maybe somebody advised it to him. Okay, so it's not drug use. Does your doctor prescribe it though? Like, who prescribe? Like, what kind of therapy? You know what I'm saying? What kind of therapy? I mean, some people say boxing is therapy. Some people say you can draw. Get a coloring book, Jonathan Richard. That can be therapy. Do crossword puzzles. Word search. Monopoly. Words with friends. Go jogging. Go hiking. It's a lot of different therapy you can do without doing stuff with that though, right? Like when did he need that? He didn't need it before, right? I'm sure he was depressed when his daughter was sick, respectfully, right? Was he doing it then? I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. But I respect it though. I respect what you're saying right there. I don't want to be disrespectful. But the chat and the panel probably will be a little more disrespectful to me. I'm gonna try to maintain some order here, and then we'll open it up and let everybody get their bars off. He said, "I'm loving the new content. Keep it going." Okay, he's talking to Bruce. Bruce, he's D Bevel say he like what you're doing over there, Bruce. Keep it going, Bruce, man. Bruce Gold's got a lot of knowledge, got a lot of bots and memorabilia too. Super dope, man. He said, I think he's done enough to just walk away. Had a great run, movie type ish. There you go. Okay, fair enough. He said, mess not needed. Okay, that mess ain't needed. Taylor Bell said, hallucination changes your perspective of the world and you in it. It strips your ego away from you. You need an ego and a killer instinct in the ring. No fighting after LSD. Wow. Okay. So you don't look at Taylor Bell, you don't look at it as like therapy and this can help him. Okay, cool. I don't have a dog in the fight. Promise, I don't have a dog in the fight. Keep it 100 with y'all. I'm over here self-medicating my damn self. I'm drinking some red wine. Self-medicating. We all got our own coping mechanisms, I guess. We all got our own idiosyncrasies in the way we do things and our own formula, but I kind of got to go with what you're saying right here. I don't like the fact that the former heavyweight champion is turning to hallucinate, psychedelic drugs to help him decide his future in boxing. That's me, though, and I don't want to lead the witness. I want you guys to have your own opinion. The point of this show is not for us all to agree on in an echo chamber. No, you guys are welcome to have your own opinion. I will not take your wrench away, time you out, and block you just because you have a adverse opinion. Your opinion is yours and yours alone. Might not be yours alone. People might agree with you. So I support you guys being independent thinkers. We support that over here. So let me know what you think. Call in 44692-1766. Flawless, what up, my G? Welcome back. Flawless, okay, you sticking around a little bit over here on Breaking Beats. What up?
What up?
Appreciate you, my G. He said, go back to the chat. Sorry about that. He said, I'm unaware of Wilder considering self-meds, Ed D. Rayfin. Hey, look, I'll pull the article back up. We can read any one of these articles you guys want to go. It's multiple articles where he says this. I can try to find him on that podcast and see what he says directly. But that is the quote that everybody's running with. This is from the Daily Mail. Deontay Wilder claims he may look to a psychedelic drink once used by ancient Amazonian tribes to help him decide whether he should retire from boxing after his trilogy defeat by Tyson Fury. So let me get this line. 773, you on the MIC. What's your name and where you calling from, my friend?
Marq Stearns.
To accept, press 1.
Go ahead, Mr. Stern. Go ahead, Mr. Marq.
What's happening, marqnash?
Well, what's up? What's up? Talk to me, my brother. How you feel? What's the deal? Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home.
Oh yeah, welcome. Listen, this is the first that I'm hearing about Wilder and this psychedelic drug, whatever. Yeah. This is the first that I'm hearing of that. So I'm not prepared, but I will say this. In my opinion, number one, we don't know whether or not this is a drug that he has tried in the past. Maybe he has. Wilder's a pretty deep brother when it comes to, he's got a strong mentality. And who knows, this could have been something that he tried before. Now, I kind of agree with, I don't remember who actually said it, but was talking about it's not actually a drug. No different than, let's say, marijuana with the THC and
let's roll up
the
one
CBD.
right now. Respect.
So these are actual things that are that grow from the ground. They have some, and many of them have great properties. that are beneficial. So I'm not going to pass any judgment with respect to that. I don't know anything about that particular drug, and and I'm not sure what his reasoning is for it or whether he's tried it in the past. But I will say this: I don't believe that he's going to retire. He certainly has a right to, and I don't think that it's a bad look, because at the end of the day, I don't think this has anything to do with the 3-time fought Tyson Fury and what the outcome was of the last fight, because in my opinion, I think that Wilder is tired of the bullshit in boxing. I think he's tired of the, he's a straight up brother. He's a 10 toes down type brother about everything. His whole life, from what I understand of him, has always been, he's been that guy.
Right.
And I know a little something about that because it's part of what I do for a living. I do a number of things, but mindset is my specialty. I teach it. I've done it all over the world. And so that's part of what I do. But so I believe that Wilder has the right to whatever decision that he wants to make for him and his family, he's got a right to do it. And he has many options outside of boxing, and I'm sure he's probably exploring those. He tried to fight everybody. Wilder put his neck on the line and was willing to fight everybody. He even fought Ortiz that nobody wants to fight. And they got every kind of reason imaginable. So when I look at Wilder, I say whatever he decides to do, he's got a right to do it. And I don't think we should do anything but celebrate him, because he's earned the right to do that. In my opinion, he knocked Fury out in the first fight. In the second fight, Fury clearly cheated. And in the third fight, they cheated Wilder because he knocked Fury out twice in the 4th round. So, I mean, at the end of the day, now Fury, I give Fury credit. I don't like him as a person. I don't think that I'm sure he's got a why, but I don't like him. I don't like him. He's not grateful. Wilder gave him a chance when nobody else would. So and excuse my French, but I don't fuck with people that behave that way. I just don't. So I don't like Fury, but I respect the fact that Fury is a dog. I mean, for him to have gotten up after Wilder put him down twice, and most people would have been in a coma, and come back and fight the way he did, even though Wilder got robbed in the third fight because he should have been, it was a knockout. I mean, how many seconds you gonna give him? I mean, it's ridiculous. But I'll say this. I say that if he's tired, he got a right to be. And the story about, and I trust you, brother. I trust anybody because I know you did your research. I didn't. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
I know.
But I don't trust old media at all. So I don't know if they took this because listen, at the end of the day, there's an attack on the black man, period. And when you got a brother like Wilder that's 10 toes down, they don't want him to be the heavyweight champion of the world. They do not want that. Just like they don't want us to be quarterbacks, and they don't want us to a lot of things. So that's another subject. But at the end of the day, Wilder's got a right to make whatever decision he wants, and whatever decision he makes, I support him.
Fair enough.
That's my call, brother. But appreciate you allowing me to be on, to call in, and I'll be supporting this channel for sure.
Hey, man, I wouldn't have it no other way. You can call back. Hey, look, you can call back multiple times. You don't be like, well, I called early. I can't call back no more. You can call back to back. I don't care. All
okay.
Right?
Well, I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you more. Thank you, man. Good call.
All right.
Let me get to the next one. Good call, man. Good call. And look, man. Now, the brother said some interesting things there. Some of that I agree with. Some of it I don't agree with. But he's entitled to his opinion. Here's the thing. If you believe Wilder, all that stuff about Wilder, shouldn't he believe that too? Like, why does he need this? And like you said, it could be taken out of context. I got it All I've seen was the direct quote. I did not hear the Byron Scott podcast with Wilder saying that, but I will pull it up and try to find it real quick. Let me go back to the chat, see what they're saying in the chat. But yeah, man, Wilder won, man, and he feel like he won all those times. He shouldn't have to do all of that. I don't think. 830, you got the flow. What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
This is Brian from Texas. What up, Mark?
What's up, man? What's good, my G? How you feel? Talk to me. What you think of this topic?
Man, so so my wife's a nurse, so I'm into all this medical stuff. I've been looking at articles and stuff. I heard that they're going to start they're trying to treat depression with psychedelics, that they found that there's research in that. Got to remember, Wilder's a rich man, so he probably has the best doctors, so they giving him, advice to try to take these drugs. But as far as Wilder's talking about the
objection, calls for speculation. Objection.
Okay.
It calls for speculation. We don't know what his doctor told him. We do know what he said, though. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying he does have the best doctors available. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if he's trying this. He's not going to do any. He's a top of the line athlete. He's not going to do anything without running it by a professional first. Because you got to remember, Deontay Wilder was also in VADA. They do VADA testing. VADA's year round.
He don't know if he's going to box no more, though, right?
Huh?
He don't know if he's going to box no more, though. VADA is voluntary, right?
I thought he was one of the boxers that volunteered for year-round testing.
Maybe he didn't volunteer no more after he don't lost. Who knows? But he's saying he's going to take
you're
this
right.
stuff.
It's speculation, but I'm just saying, man. Okay, the fact of the matter is, psychedelics do have beneficial effects on depression. We could all see clearly that Wilder is depressed. He wasn't cheated. He actually put up a good performance. His best wasn't good enough. His best wasn't good enough. And there's nothing to hang his head down on, because that fight actually made me gain more respect for Wilder. I'm pretty sure it did that for a lot of people. Okay, they gained respect after this fight. But as far as him, what's the interesting thing about this is when Wilder was boxing, man, people hated Deontay Wilder, man. Like, hated him. But now that he left, every word he say become a headline in boxing. He could say, "I'm back," and then, man, the internet would just blow up. It'd be like, "Nah, they misquoted me. I said I hurt my back." Man,
well played.
They in love with Wilder. Really, what it is what he said this one time, man. He said they gonna try to give me my flowers whenever I leave boxing. I want them to give it to me while I'm here. And he was right, man, because they can't stop talking about Deontay Wilder. I mean, before it was sloppy Wilder is trash, this is that. And then now is Deontay Wilder going to do drugs? I mean, I suggest he do something, because he clearly ain't in the right space. If he does. See, the thing about it is, in boxing, they tell you never let somebody never make the mistake of letting them put you in there with the guy that knocked you out. That's always the saying in boxing. If you go look at all the fighters, even Lennox Lewis, when he got avenge his losses, it wasn't right back to back. The only one he did that with was the right-handed dude. What was his name?
Hasim Rodman.
Hasim Rodman. That's the only guy he got right back in there, because he wasn't on Lennox Lewis level. But the rest of the people, he waited. Oliver McCall, he waited, because he had to build up some confidence. And if you look at his first fight back, he still wasn't there after getting knocked out, because it takes a while to build your confidence. You start to doubt yourself. So Deontay Wilder hopping right back in the ring, he needed something to build himself up, and what built him up was he was cheated. So he went and built off of that. So when he got beat again, what's the excuse? He was knocked out. There was no glove gate, no nothing. So he's looking for something to grab onto. He's talking about the politics of boxing. The politics of boxing is why he got those extra seconds against Ortiz when Ortiz had him on Queer Street. So you can't be only in the favor of politics of boxing when they help you, and then when they're against you, it's, oh, well, I can't stand the politics of boxing.
Fair enough. All right, shit, good call, man. I'm gonna open the phone. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. You more than welcome to pull up.
Oh man, I'll pull up. All right,
cool. Good call, man. Shout out to the boxing scholar. All the way in Texas. Phone lines open, 404-692-1766. In the words of the late, great Miss Cleo, call me now. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, Taylor Bill is he riding with the hallucinations, man. The hallucinations. how you say hallucinogens? The drugs. He riding with it. He said he agrees. He said it's not it's therapy. He said boxing is brain damage, hallucinations repair your perspective. But hold up. But it's a hallucination. It's some shit that ain't real, Taylor Bill. How does that work though? How does like seeing things that ain't there and feeling things that ain't there, you know, hallucinating good for you? I just still don't know that. I still don't get it. But I'm not knocking anybody who's doing what they do. That's your business, that's your opinion. I'm not knocking Wilder. Some people gonna knock him on in the chat. I see it already, but hey, look, I don't know what he's going through, and I agree with homeboy. Like, I believe he is depressed. Now, I'm not a professional where I can analyze this man. Even if I was a professional, I haven't sat down with him. All I know is what I see from the outside looking in. And yeah, man, he was the baddest man on the planet, bro. The most feared heavyweight, the most devastating puncher, all of that. I think that stuff. Yeah, I think that stuff. Look, they kept calling Tyson Fury pillow fisted. The pillow fisted guy stopped you twice. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's very bad. It can take something out of you. Somebody say it's pronounced ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. There you go. Thanks, Philip. SLG said Wilder and Joshua would cash out before they retire like Conor and Brooke. Wilder's journey will begin after that. Next big check. Okay. SLG said that's what he thinking. Joey Chad said, I'm high off life. That's it. I read the Taylor Bell comment. Jonathan Ritchie said, not after that last fight. What does it cost for a treatment? Cat. Okay. D-Ray ain't feeling it. D-Ray don't want to see him doing the drugs or the therapy, however you want to call it, or the treatment. Absolutely none but respect. Let me see where we at with this, man. Where we at? Bear with me, y'all. Let me see how long I've been up here. We'll drop this link, let y'all get y'all bars off. Did we get any likes on the video yet? Golly, y'all be crabbing me on the likes. Crabbing on the likes. I'm gonna start doing like Coach Malachi. I ain't gonna open the phone line. I ain't gonna drop no links till y'all get these likes. Shout out to Coach. Coach know what's up. Let me see where we at with it. Damn. 32 likes, y'all. 32 likes, but 45 votes on the survey. All right, let me see what they're saying on this survey. The survey is saying, okay, 58% saying no, he should not retire. All right, cool. I'm gonna open this up and let Megazard. He said, let's get these likes up and please subscribe. He said they were using psychedelics to experiment on Whitey Bulger and Alcatraz. This ain't new. Yeah, but this guy right here got a choice though. You know what I'm saying? He's a heavyweight. He sounds like he's choosing this. And that ain't no good example. Then Whitey Bulger get murdered. Not the best example, respectfully, Bruce. I want to see the man get killed. The first trip is the worst. After that, you're a veteran. Got a condo on my wrist, girl. I'm cashing out. Let me drop this link, man. I'm gonna let y'all pull up, chop it up with me. Boom, boom, boom. Link is out there. If you want to chop it up with me on this topic, love to hear from you. All I ask is respect the panel, respect yourself first. Respect yourself, respect this show, and respect the panel. Try not to cut each other off. Try not to be too long-winded with your points. Get your bars off and pass the ball. Shoot, score. Shoot and score. Pass the ball. Taylor Bell said it will help him with his life after boxing, but not while boxing. If he medicates with hallucinations, his boxing career is over. Wow. So by him doing that, maybe he already made his decision. Shout out to my guy Megazar. What up, though? Let me give him the drop. All the kids love when Megazar come out to play. Everybody in the neighborhood say, yay. Talk to me, bro. What's your take on this topic?
Oh, what's going on, black man? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, highly favored, man.
I was gonna tear into the brother, but there's no need to do that. I just say this: if Anthony Joshua was considering this, he would be lambasted.
He would be what?
He would be lambasted.
What does that mean? I never heard of land-based. What is that mean?
Land-based to mean he would be made to look like a fool to the world. Everything they say about him, big dumb robot. You know, all of the many things they say about Anthony Joshua. They would run this shit into the ground. I told you that Deontay Wilder, his psyche has never been the same. Once he seen, I mean, my psyche wasn't the same. When I seen Tyson Fury get up like the damn Undertaker, I didn't know what the hell I was. I thought I was watching some WWF shit. I was like, huh? He got up, and Deontay Wilder's psyche has never been the same. Everyone you done never fought in the ring, done hit that canvas, and when they hit that canvas, it was a Rivaderce. It was a wrap. This dude got up. He doesn't have any real boxing skill, so his right hand, the most atomic right hand in the history of boxing, doesn't work on this guy. What do you do then? Then you got pillow fist. I'm glad you said pillow fist, because this pillow fist dude started sitting down on his punches and was tagging your ass and knocked you down. I don't. Since Tyson Fury has been back, who has he knocked down multiple times in the ring?
Wilder, the only one.
Wilder, the only one. Tom Schwartz. What was the dude named Schwartz?
Tom Schwartz, Otto Wallin.
Yeah, Otto Wallin. Like, come on, bro.
Fair
He
enough.
knocked Deontay Wilder down multiple, I think 5 times total. The third fight, you could clearly tell after a couple rounds, Tyson Fury was hurt, and he said it after the fight that he occurred. He got an injury during training. All I'm saying is, would you say something?
Go ahead, land your plane. And we'll
okay. Yes, sir. I was just finna say, it's a wrap, man. Whenever you have to, I'm finna take some of this. Say, bro, when you got to start doing shit like this, after you come in the ring looking like Voltron and get your ass tore up, then the next fight, you made all these excuses, egg weights, and all this other shit. Then you get back in the ring with him and fight. For the most part, stood his ground and fought, but he still lost. Like, now you got to go to this to decide if you're gonna retire or not. It's just not a good look. And if he gets in that ring again, I don't think he better fight someone that he know he could beat. Because if he fight Joshua, Usyk, anyone who can box, they're gonna whoop his ass, bro. Because he's finished.
Let's pass it around. So you think he should retire then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll come back to you. Let me let everybody get that opening statement. HLD, what up, my G? What's popping?
What's going on, Marqnash, man? Megazard just dropped the bomb. There's nothing else to talk about. It's done. It's exactly that, man. I mean, look, man, if you need anything to make a decision besides your own constitution of who you are, I mean, come on, man. It's time to retire. I thought he needed to retire right after that fight, and that's it. He's 36, going on 37. The man's got his ass beat hard in 5 fights. Arguably lost 3 of the last 3. It's time, man. I mean, 2 broken eardrums, busted hand. I mean, what else is there to do, man? I was saying in the chat, CTE is real, man. Walk away while you still have all your faculties as a millionaire and enjoy life. Look for a new purpose in life. That's all he needs to do, man. That's, and that's just that. That's not, hey, can he probably make another payday? Yeah, of course he can. But, should he? I don't think he should. I think he needs to just enjoy life, man. He's done all he can do. He's not going to be, again, the heavyweight champion of the world. You got the young bucks coming up. He ain't gonna beat those young lions, bro. So it's time to go. It's time to go while you still can. And man, you can make a difference in so many other things in life. Enjoy life, man.
Fair enough. What you got? Appreciate it. Good call, man. A lot of points on different sides of the spectrum. Some people agree, some people disagree. I believe TBH, what's up, my G? You got the flow.
It was good, Marqnash.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the topic on Deontay Wilder. Unfortunately, man, for Wilder, I mean, he sustained a lot of damage throughout these 3 fights in the last since 2018. It's time for him to call it a career, pretty much, because you're 36 going on 37. You already have multiple injuries, due to your right hand. And when you see the psychological mindset of someone like this losing really lost the first fight, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Second fight, he gets stopped and blamed everything but the kitchen sink at Tyson Fury, his Marq Breland, you know, all these things that you could be taken to court for, you know, nothing substantiated. He even confirmed there was nothing substantial to any of those claims. And then the third fight, you don't get TKO like the last fight where the way through the talent, you get knocked the hell out, knocked out cold after sustaining tons of punishment for 11 rounds till that last last part of that 11th round where he got hit with the overhand right, you know, on the temple. I mean, the dude sustained a lot of damage. Of course, he had to go to the hospital after that. And if you're having doubts, you know, months later, because you just don't heal back up 100% from that, then, and there's no plan, and you know, his team has been saying, oh, there's no immediate plan for Deontay Wilder. Now you're coming out saying that you need to, that you're not sure about your career, you're not sure you're going to get back in the ring. Then you know what? That fire is gone, then get the hell up out of there now, because whoever gets up in there, you know, and we've seen in times past, you stay there for too long enough, then what's going to happen? You're going to get damaged. You're going to get hurt. And down the road, man, you know, look at guys like Meldrick Taylor. Look at all these guys after their career, man. Like,
so you think he should retire?
I think they should retire. I think he should retire.
And he can't be champion. You don't see him ever becoming champion again.
Nope. No. Nah.
Somebody said they grounded clapping in the background. Yeah, I'm a real one.
Oh shit.
I'm rolling up. Let's go. Let me pass it around. Go ahead, right side. Talk to me. What you think of this topic? Should he retire? Should he not retire?
Hey man, salute marqnash, man. That was me with the grounded clapping in the background. So hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at all. But man, you know, I agree, man. I think not necessarily going off of his past fights. I think it's more if you're talking about having to take a psychedelic to figure out if you want to fight again, bro, you don't want to fight no more. You got to be convinced to fight again. That's what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I'm never in favor of somebody having one foot in the ring, one foot out the ring, because, you know, it's playing football, playing basketball. That's one thing. Boxing is a totally different thing. And so if you're not fully committed to it, then I don't want you in there, in my opinion. And at this point in time, you know, you've had a good run. You still have all your faculties in order. We hope that that's the case moving forward. You know what I mean? Because we definitely want to see what else you're going to bring to life outside of boxing. And I think Deontay Wilder, especially being a Georgia boy, him being an Alabama boy, I always feel we have very similar backgrounds as far as growing up. So I definitely want to see what else he brings to life outside of boxing. And I just don't like him talking about psychedelics to more or less put him in the right mindset to fight again. I don't like that. You make your best decisions when you're sober. That's my opinion. I think, you know, that's the best time for you to be rationalizing and making logical decisions is when you're sober. And anything affecting the mind, I don't know what side effects may come from it. And I know a lot of people on the chat panel, you know, they've called it therapy, and that's what it might be, you know, but I don't know. So I just think sober mind, sober body is the best way to make a decision.
Super good points right there. Everybody's making good points. Go ahead, UK. We got Cassidy from the UK. Then we're gonna let the boxing scholar get his bars off. Cassidy, all the way from the UK. What's going on, mate?
What's going on, man? What's going
Cheerio,
on?
yeah. You dig me, yeah? What's going on, my brother? Talk to me. What you think about this topic? Should Wilder retire? Can he be champ again? What do you think of the reports that he might be taking this psychedelic drink called Ayahuasca to help him decide should he continue on with boxing? What say you? You got the floor.
Yeah, man. Good evening to marqnash and the panel.
Turn up, man. Come on, man. I need some high energy, man.
No, I'm saying good evening to you, innit? Good evening to the panel and that. You get me? I'm just making
Yes,
sure
sir.
that the mic is calm and that, so you can hear me properly, innit?
Yeah, go ahead. Cook up, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing with Wilder, man. You get me? I think they're sticking on him a bit too hard, man. I think they're sticking on him a bit too hard. He can become champion again, man. I don't see why he can't become champion no more. Because the only way that he can't become champion again if Fury is still in that division. Because just remember, if it wasn't Fury, no one else is getting up from that right hand. Nobody, no one. He had 10 successful defenses of that title. He held the title for 5 years straight. So I respect Wilder as a fighter, even though he has no skills, but he's got the eraser, and that's all that you need sometimes to take you around the block. But it won't take you around the world. But as for the drugs and all that stuff, I think the battering that Fury giving him is messing about with a couple of his brain cells. I want to know what his wife is saying as well, because she helps him a lot as well with what he does behind the scenes and stuff like that. So I want to know what his wife is saying on that part. I know she helps him. With certain things and that. And yeah, man, I don't think Wilder should come. I think Wilder should come back, clean up. He's got a couple people that he can clean up, because there's a couple big fights for him that he hasn't had. He hasn't had the Ruiz fight. He ain't had the Dillian White fight. He ain't had the Anthony Joshua fight. There's bare fights for him to have, man. Wilder's an exciting fighter, man. I don't care what anyone says. He's knocked out over 35 people onto the canvas. He's put people in hospital. This is what you want to see in the sport of boxing. Obviously not to the extent of anyone dying, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully. But I'm just saying, innit? He's an exciting fighter. I like Wilder as a fighter, but I don't know. He's just going through something at the moment, innit? He's just going through something at the moment that only he knows, innit? We don't know what he's gonna do. I can bet you on the house that he's gonna fight again. I can bet, because he loves to fight. That's what I'm saying to you. He loves to fight. He's a warrior, and he ain't going out like that. You see, he's not going out like that. He is not going out like that. There's no way he's going out like that. So I'm just waiting to see what he does in it at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. The boxing scholar, good call right there, Cassidy. Stay with you at. Go ahead, boxing scholar. Talk to me. What do you think of the story right here? Can Wilder be champ again? Should he retire? Will he retire? What do you think about him taking the Ayahuasca? What do you think of that?
I think the sport of boxing is crazy, man. So Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones, and y'all paid. It had like 1 million buys, and Roy Jones was knocked out viciously, and he was close to 50. And y'all paid for that fight, but y'all don't think Wilder should continue to fight? It doesn't make any sense to me. You judge a fighter based off of not their age, but their age in the ring, right? Up until these Fury fights, Wilder wasn't really taking a lot of damage to the Fury fights. Now, the Fury fights did take a lot out of him, but we ain't even gave him a chance to get back in the ring to gauge if he still has anything left. He can get back in the ring and look spectacular. Fury just has a style because he's taller than Wilder. Wilder fights good against shorter people. I think Wilder could knock out Usyk. If you take Fury out of the equation, like Cassidy said, and you put him up against any heavyweight, if you can't for sure say that they'll beat Wilder, why should he retire? It doesn't make any sense to me. So y'all think Luis Ortiz looked awful in his last fight? Are y'all calling for Luis Ortiz to retire? And Wilder taking these psychedelics is no different from people trying to have religious experience. George Foreman, prime example. George Foreman had a nervous breakdown after he lost to Jimmy Young. Or was it Jimmy? No, it's Jimmy Young. It wasn't Jimmy Ellis. But he had a nervous breakdown in the locker room. He said blood was coming from his hands, and they had to carry him out. 10 years later, he found religion. He came back to the sport, because punchers last long in the sport because the last thing to go is the power. Deontay Wilder's a puncher. Deontay Wilder's gonna have his power well into his 40s. Let's give him a chance, man. Look at Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was washed up at 28 years old because of all the punishment he took. He wasn't the puncher that Wilder was. Give Wilder a chance, man.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Megazar. What you think of what he said, man? Y'all ain't giving Wilder a chance, man. You say he got a condo on his wrist. He cashing out. Go ahead, Megazar.
But if I'm, you can attest, Mark, that I stated that once I heard all the excuses. Foreman may have had that mental breakdown, nervous breakdown, but he wasn't accusing the other person that just whooped his ass of all these hellacious allegations. Egg weights. My water was spiked. You know what I'm saying? All of this compilation of nonsense that he put in that corner. I shouldn't have came out there. My suit was too heavy. You don't think? You think you can walk out there looking like Megazord with lights glimmering? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, when are we gonna be like he has the power? Cool. But when has anyone ever got up from that right hand? I'm telling you, that psyche that he had of invincibility went away. It went away. And Tyson Fury figured out how he had to definitively fight Fury after that. I mean, Wilder after that. He started pressing him.
Going forward, yeah, pressed him.
He started pressing him. And damn near knocked him down. Second fight.
He did knock him down, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then,
second, third fight, yeah.
Then in the second fight, once he got with the crunk gym, start sitting down on his punches, the pillow fist that Tyson Fury started putting him on his ass. I'm here to tell you, Anthony Joshua will clean his fucking clock if he land. Yeah, Joshua ain't. You say what you want to say, but when Joshua connect, niggas go down too. Now, I'm not saying he hit as hard as Wilder. I don't think no one in the history of boxing hit as hard as Wilder. But all I'm saying is this: he hits hard enough to where if he connect, he gonna be drinking that Akashic shit for real. Because he gonna really go to a whole realm and see Jesus and all that shit. Muhammad, he gonna see all the prophets. He gonna see them all.
Bruh.
He gonna see all of them, goddammit. So he gonna be on the ark. He get shit. So all I'm saying is, from what I saw from the brother, I'm not advising. I'm in no position to advise Wilder what not to do. All I'm saying is, from what I saw, I just don't think it's wise. And if this information is true, it's damn sure not wise. Like, you finna drink this drink to see Jesus? Like, that's why. Come on, bro. This I don't believe that. Because I've actually heard of this herb, and I heard that it purifies, you know what I'm saying, toxins and things like that. But if he's drinking this to see Jesus, no, man. I don't believe that.
To be fair, he didn't say I'm drinking this to see Jesus. He said he might take this drink and help him decide if he's going to continue boxing. To be fair.
Yeah. Well, he could drink a Mike's Hard Lemonade and to decide if he wants to continue boxing. Like, you ain't got to drink this shit. You can get you a Jim Beam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much. So yeah, I just don't think this isn't a champion's way, man. This isn't a champion. We didn't hear about LeBron when he lost last year. LeBron need to go drink this drink, man, because something just ain't right. He lost. And this is boxing. This is physical battery. You know what I'm saying? This is hits to the head. This is getting up and down off the canvas. Saying no drink gonna prepare you for that, or restore your mind, or hypnotize you, or trick you into thinking that what happened to you before can't happen again. So it's just, it don't sound good.
HLD, go ahead, reply to that.
Man, I all you can do is piggyback right off of Megazord, man. It's just all true. There's nothing else to it. It's not about because he lost either, man. I mean, no, it's not because it's the way he lost, man. This man has got his ass beat in his last 5 fights. He beat Ortiz in the last minute with knockouts, but Ortiz was putting a whooping on that boy. So come on, man. Let's be real. And then now 2 broken eardrums, a broken hand. You're 36 going on 37. You've been knocked the fuck out. No, man, retirement. There's more to life than this, man. All I'm saying is there's more to life than this. He's got all his faculties. That's a blessing. He's made an impact in his era. Yeah, what more is there? Just to make another payday? He ain't gonna be champion again. His psyche is not gonna make him. He ain't gonna be champion again. He ain't got the psyche for that.
HLD, I'm gonna give you a little pushback on that. Pause.
Yep.
Hey, look. Is it? But the heavyweight division is extremely small. Some will argue. You don't think it's possible? You don't think he can beat under these other guys?
I think Jared Anderson puts a beating on him.
Okay.
Simple as that. I think Frank Sanchez will outbox him. So can you imagine what Usyk would do to him? I ain't talking about even having to fight a Fury anymore. Just Usyk.
But he don't have trouble with them smaller guys. It's the big guy. It's the big guy like Tyson Fury. He couldn't get past Tyson Fury's reach. He couldn't. Tyson Fury was leaning on him.
Ortiz was a smaller guy. He was beating his ass. It was just because he landed, but yeah, he was. Ortiz was beating his ass, and he was on his heart medication. So the guy's going on 50 or so. You know what I mean? So come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Jared Anderson will beat the living hell out of Wilder.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead, boxing story. Jump in. What you got on this? You agree, disagree with what they saying?
Well,
You got
yeah. Well, listen, and I think, when you deal with the heavyweight division, I think we've been desensitized for a very long time of what's great and what's not.
elaborate.
A couple years ago, and mind you, I've been a fan of Wilder since 2009. And I look at it like this: is he one of the hardest punchers of all time? Definitely. I'm not going to say the best because of the opposition that he's been knocking out. And when he stepped up, usually when you step up in competition, those knockouts don't come. And when he fought Ortiz, who was on heart medication before, I think, the first fight, he had a tough time. He had a tough time in both of those fights, and that man's pushing damn near 50. I remember telling cats a long time ago that Wilder, if he don't get his shit together in terms of his skill set, he's an accident waiting to happen when he fights someone good. All right, and some of these guys that he's knocked out, we call them B-level fighters, but if they were like in, let's say, 20 years ago, they wouldn't be considered B-level at all, But as far as Wilder's concerned, could he get back in there? I'm gonna tell you something. Now that Wilder now that he stepped up in competition, you can't fight, the guys that he's been fighting in the last couple of years. He has to fight the top 10 dudes. I mean, Robert Helenius might be a guy. He might be a guy that Wilder could beat. Thomas, what's his name? Kawanaki maybe. But Joe Joyce, Jared Anderson, I think Andrew Ruiz would be a 50-50 fight with him. Frankie Sanchez, trying to think, even Daniel Dubois has a chance against him. A lot of these guys that's there, they have a chance against that dude. And I think they would have had a chance against the dude prior to the Tyson Fury fight, because really, in a sense, he was cherry picking Tyson Fury coming off the long layoff, the cocaine and whatnot. Yes, he did have 2 tune-up fights, all right, against 2 quality opposition heavyweights at the time, but it still was a cherry pick, and it was cherry picking gone wrong, and it went wrong for these last 3 fights. And I think that looking at it now and what's happened to him now, I think that if it's not a right matchup for him, it's not going to be there. These fights are going to be very tough for Wilder to come back from, because that relying on that right hand is not going to be there. Especially, it's not like Wilder has the greatest chin of all out there. He pushes with a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and that's what you can give him credit for. But he doesn't really have nothing else but that powerful right hand. And if you want to say, well, he struggles against taller fighters, well, the thing is, the difference between fighting a taller fighter and a shorter fighter is that the guys that we can't compare shot past his prime, Chris Arreola, and Areola's been out of his prime for years, going back to 2014. All right, we can't compare Bermane Severn to a guy like Usyk, who actually has footwork and actually can move, unlike these big, tall, lumbering heavyweights that you see today. Fighting Usyk is a horrible matchup for Wilder, especially when he gets on the inside. The overhand left is going to be right there for Wilder. So against the top guys, I don't think that he has a chance. Joshua maybe,
right, but
some of these other guys, it's not looking good, and that's why I think he needs to just go ahead and get up out of there now.
Fair enough. Let me play this audio so we can have some. Shout out to Jonathan Richards in the chat for sending me the timestamp. You're king amongst kings for that one. Let me play this audio so we can have some contents. Let's hear how he said it. Did he say it jokingly? Let's talk about it.
Because I love music and I know you love music. But again, let's go back to boxing real quick. Yeah. And like I said, I know you got a lot left in you. But what's next in the boxing world for D?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a trip. I got to do. Man, I'm thinking about doing ayahuasca. You ever heard of that before?
No.
I know that, but that's leading into it. That's gonna be my decision making factor.
I got you.
Ayahuasca.
Okay, so his girl is definitely there, his wife, and she I can't really hear what she's saying too much, but let's hear that again.
Need this one hit overdose music, and I know you love music. But again, let's go back to boxing real quick. Yeah. And like I said, I know you got a lot left in you, but what's next in the boxing world for for D?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a trip. I got to do. Man, I'm thinking about doing ayahuasca. You ever heard of that before?
No.
I know that, but that's leading into it. That's gonna be my decision making factor.
I got you.
Ayahuasca is something that you're taking on a spiritual journey. You're using DMT and stuff like that. And I've been really interested in that. You know what I'm saying? Going to getting shamans and stuff like that. And just I want to go down this journey, this path.
You have to explain. Okay, so ayahuasca is like. It's like a form of DMT. So DMT is like a hallucinogen, right?
Okay.
So it's like, so there's mushrooms. It's like
almost like mushroom, but on
lower level,
different level,
right?
Okay.
There's mushrooms, and then there's this like frog secretion, and then there's ayahuasca. So it's like the highest of mental, and then there's acid. So it's like it's like mushrooms, like natural, right? So mushrooms, then you have acid, then you have fog secretion, then you have ayahuasca.
Bruh.
So ayahuasca is in your system for a long time, like 8 hours, 10 hours, like 12 hours.
Bro, I don't want to be high for 8 and 12 hours, respectfully. Let's keep going, though. Let's hear what else you're going with this.
Depending on how much your body can intake. So you have no control. Like,
I don't like not having control, Telly Swift, respectfully. Let's keep it going.
They call it purging. So you can throw up on yourself, you could shit on yourself.
I'm gonna wear a pamper though.
Bruh. He said I'm gonna wear a pamper though, bruh.
So I told him,
She said I'm gonna take care of you. So it sounds like she wants him to do it. Like she might be leading him towards it. In my opinion, like she's very enthusiastic. She's enthusiastic about it. She sounds like she knows her research. Let's hear more of this. Then we're gonna go back to the panel.
The grown man.
Your pants.
Get in the pants. You get a pamper. You're not gonna be in trouble. You could be everywhere. Get a grown man pamper.
Wow. Your mental, no control. So supposedly, how they say is a spiritual journey. So you go through a spiritual journey of your life. It makes you change your way of thinking.
Okay.
So you could come out a preacher, you could come out a boxer, you could come out marrying someone, you could do whatever. They said that there's a lot of divorces that have been mended from ayahuasca. So it's like a spiritual healing type of journey.
Their hair off because they've seen something in their path that didn't sit well with them. And so, like, you have a lot of celebrities that have done it.
Yeah.
I know Will have done it.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will does everything. I love Will.
Yeah, he'll scoop it out as well.
Is he? Matter of fact, I saw him in Dubai.
All right, we'll start right there. Let me see if they can talk more about this. Let me fast forward.
And that once you go through that journey, that's going to kind of help you or lead you to what you're going to do.
It's going to help me navigate my decision making of what I want to return to the sport. Now, like I said, boxing, I put kind of bad taste in my mouth because of what it has done to me. Because I stand for politics, the cheating of it, referees. So it seems like I fight against the politics, the referees,
and the fighter.
I feel because I know it's so many guys in boxing cheating. Yeah. And they of course they don't want me to say it, but I'm gonna say it because it is what it is. I mean, I'm risking my life, so I have the right to say what I want.
Absolutely.
I risk my hand. There's so many people that try to, go against me in this sport and do things. But I stand for something. And if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. Trials and tribulation that comes against you.
All right, let's stop right there. Oh my God. We gotta talk about this neighborhood. As a family, as a neighbor, does anybody want to take the lead on this, or do I need to do it? Or do you? I don't even know how. Do y'all feel what I feel when I hear this? I mean, like, Megazar, you've been on the show longest. I see you, Megazar.
Yes, sir.
HLD, boxing, the boxing store. Look, right side, boxing. Cassidy.
Yeah.
Give me the lead, bro. Give me the lead on this one.
Look, because what I want to say, I'm gonna let you know they're gonna call me a coon. They're gonna say don't disrespect that man. Why? He's a fucking champ, marqnash. What you ever did in your life, bruh?
Hey, can I run with it, Mark? Can I run with it?
Bro, you better go ahead, man, before I get us all canceled out here, because I ain't got nothing nice to say about what I'm about to say. So
Hey man, hey, so I listened to a few things in that conversation. The first thing that I heard was you know that the cards are stacked against you in boxing, and according to you, not in my opinion, according to what you're saying. And if this is the route you feel you need to take, I'm against it. The reason being is because in your sober mind right now, you already know what it is. And so also when his old lady was talking about it, hey, ain't no way. Yeah, she may sound supportive, but ain't nobody trying to take care of nobody in Pampers or nothing like that. We ain't trying to do that. I'm just saying that I don't like it. I think, hey, bro, you got a sober mind. You can make a rational decision right now, and that's what you should do.
they was real enthusiastic. She was real enthusiastic. I mean, it's like mushrooms, but then you got acid. Yo, what the? She said people come out of it, and they do. Maybe you don't come out of it. What if you get stuck? What if you come out of it worse? What if you get what I'm saying? Like,
Marqnash.
Go ahead, bro.
Marqnash, come on, man. Didn't you learn, man? The brightest minds in the world make decisions while they're taking shit in Pampers, bro. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
You know, I mean, the brightest minds in the world, man. The best discoveries were when you all fucked up and shitting on yourself. That's when you make the best decisions.
Bro.
Oh man, this is stupid, man. It's just sad, man. You know, and I'm sorry, man. There's some
context.
Let them finish though. Don't cut them off, please.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you know, my man said you gotta, stand for something, fall for anything, man. But he stand on the wrong square, man, because he's been falling, bro. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you need anything to make a decision like that, man, especially in combat sports, it's a decision you got to make at the top of your faculties, and yeah. It's something for, like I said before, it's your constitution. Is it, do you want it or you don't? Because even if you take this drug and you want to come back, if you believe that the cards are stacked against you, guess what? Drug or no drug, they still going to be there. So either you need to have this drug so that reality sets in that it's not as what you're saying so that you could come back, or not. I mean, it just, anyways, man, it just doesn't make any sense, bro. Doesn't make sense. I feel bad for the guy.
Go ahead, Boxing Scholar. You say you want to add some content or
Yeah, because I know y'all finna rip Wilder up. So hey, Marq, you really good at analyzing stuff on the first time you watch it. So at first, when I first heard this, I heard the reporter bring up the fact of boxing, and Deontay Wilder laughed uncomfortably because he didn't want to talk about boxing. When he retired, Marq Scott said he don't want Wilder talking about boxing at all. He wants to focus on him. To add context to this, you're absolutely right. His girl wants him to do this. You got to remember his woman was going to school to be a nurse, so she's into science. So he couldn't explain much about the drug, but she could. She wants him to do it because she sees him probably moping around the house, depressed. She probably thinks this is going to help him because, like I said, there's scientific proof that psychedelics will help with depression. And if she's watching
prayer. I thought he think it, believe it, receive it.
But that don't work for everybody. So
when we gonna roll it, smoke it, and sniff it? Like what? I'm joking. But go ahead.
So what if he's doing prayer and doing all this stuff and it's not working? She's not a medical professional per se, but she understands the knowledge and she wants to help her loved one. Anybody would do anything to help their loved one, I would hope. So she just looks at it like she wants to help her loved one. And while ago, I didn't get to respond to the guy. He said George Foreman didn't do this. George Foreman absolutely said his water was spiked in Africa. The ropes was loose. A person put voodoo on him. And what surprises me is that people will say Wilder should retire. Do you think that Wilder was done as bad by Fury as Errol Spence was done as bad by that car? Y'all ain't calling for Errol Spence to retire. So why should Wilder retire? Errol Spence has showed his signs of slippage in the ring after the car. Wilder hasn't showed his signs. Y'all not even giving him a chance to give us the signs. And Vladimir Klitschko's another one. When he lost in the Olympic trials, he said Vaseline on his legs blocked his pores, so he quit on his stool. His big brother lost to Layman Brewster and said he was poisoned. His water was spiked. This is not. there was a fighter who got lost in the ring and said there was a Jericho juice that helped. This is nothing new in boxing if you're familiar with the sport. So he's grasping for anything because you need confidence in the ring. This is a confidence builder that he's looking for. So y'all go ahead, just rip him to shreds. I just had to put everything in perspective.
And look, I ain't trying to look. Let's be clear. I'm not trying to rip anyone to shreds. Like, and I wouldn't invite anybody here for a hit job on nothing like that because everybody might not want to be a part of it. I'm just saying, it just sounds, bro. Do I got to play it again? I mean, it's like acid, but like it's kind of, but acid is like, bro. Look, I talked to somebody. They told me Wilder really been into music. That's what he really been trying to do. Focus on his music career. He got a label, got a studio at the crib, and he really working on his music.
I've done
Will Smith.
He look.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Did
I thought you got to be able to different level.
Right?
Okay.
There's mushroom, and then there's like frog secretion, and then there's ayahuasca. So it's like the highest of mental, and then there's acid. So it's like it's like mushrooms, like natural, right? So mushrooms, then you have acid, then you have fog secretion, then you have ayahuasca. Okay. So ayahuasca is in your system for a long time.
Yeah.
Like 8 hours, 10 hours, like 12 hours, depending on how much your body can intake. Okay. So you have no control. Like they call it purging. So you can throw up on yourself, you can shit on yourself.
I'm gonna wear a pamper though.
Okay, and look, my G, I look. In the words of Denzel Washington in Flight, I was drunk. I'm drunk right now. Okay, my brother, I don't want to be drunk for 12 hours. I like to have a little drink. I like to smoke a little bud. My G, I don't want to be high for 12 hours. I don't want to not have control of my bodily functions and fluids where I'm defecating on myself. And that's how I'm going to come to a spiritual awakening. I just don't like how this sounds. Just don't like how it sounds. I'll leave it there. Somebody in the chat, y'all wilding in the chat. But I love what Wilder does in that damn ring. Love what he can do in that ring. He took a loss. I think he can come back from the loss. I just feel like we throw fighters away all the time just for having a loss or two. Okay, he probably couldn't beat that guy. He need to go back and rebuild. Somebody else could beat him, and then you beat them. I mean, I seen Shane Mosley. He just could not have an answer for Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest could not beat Mayorga, who was a worse boxer. Mayorga just had his number. But Shane Mosley could beat Mayorga. Sometimes, like you said, man, styles make fights. Go ahead, Megazord.
I'm not discrediting at all this herb because it's really not a drug. It's an herb. And it's natural. I have a literally, I want to say last week, I had a bro come visit me from California. He was asking me about it. Have I ever heard of ayahuasca? I was like, yeah, I've heard of it. And he asked me would I be adverse to doing it, and I told him, yeah, I would, because in order to open up my I eat once every other day, so my channel is already clearer than the average guy in the actual diet that I operate from. I don't smoke, I don't drink, and never have in my life. So I told him my reasoning for taking it is that my channel is clearer than the next person just because of the lifestyle I live. I said, now I understand why people would do it, but mind you, my partner that do this didn't fight Tyson Fury 3 times. He didn't fight Luis Ortiz. And when he does it as a purification method. I'm not saying that the dear brother Deontay Wilder can't use this to enhance himself. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in the realm of boxing, when you got niggas coming in to knock you out, you in a peaceful mind state, you being at a state of a euphoric mind state to give a greater purpose on your life. This is sport and play we talking about. Boxing ain't shit profound. It's sport and play. It's entertainment. So if you have to do this to guide you into your decision is really already made. That's what I'm hearing. The decision is already made. And I think he's a little tore up about, because he already got it in his mind that I told you, Mark, he cashed out. He put a condo on that wrist in real time. I seen it. I seen the body language. I said, yeah. He not the same. Then we heard the cheating allegations, all this. And my thing is, if Deontay Wilder in his mind feels as though it doesn't matter what the right hand could do, because all I'm saying, all I heard in that audio confirmed what I believed already. He finished, and he's already got it in his mind that he's finished. So I'm not down in the herb. I'm not down in the use of the herb. And that's not the only way you can activate your third mind. I do a thing called fasting and praying. I fasted for 14 days to the point to where I thought about people and they called me. It's a real thing. But I like to activate Kundalini energy by deprivation of toxins, not putting a toxin in there to stimulate it. And you get a simulation of what the mind can actually do. No, I want to tap into the actual Kundalini energy and vibrate on the highest level, not use a toxin to perform as a stimulant to simulate it. So I'm done with that.
Go ahead, pass around. Anybody else want to jump in? Feel free.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Now, as far as, getting a peace of mind and whatnot. Now, obviously, listening to that audio, that definitely is a push by his wife for her in personal endeavors and possibly for his benefit to, get something psychologically to heal him, and of course, spiritually, fasting is definitely a powerful thing. You can channel, spiritual energy off of it, depending on what belief system you're a part of. But thing is, though, with Wilder, it has to be up to the individual himself and the verbiage and the things that he's leading on to in that particular audio is that he does not want to deal with it. He's like, you can't, it doesn't matter about the natural ability about fighting. You can have the speed, the reflexes, what have you. You can be knockout artist, you can be a great grappler, great wrestler, whatever, right? If it's not in your mind to do so, the body cannot move. These function, the natural gifts that you have in your body will not be able to function if your heart, speaking of your mind, and your spirit is not in it. And if it's not in it, then you're just a vessel just walking around and going through the motions, and that's a dangerous thing. So based off of his own verbiage and how he's talking and you just reading what he's saying, and it to me is time to call it a career. He made enough money to do what he needs to do. He, look, he's 36. I mean, he did what he can do and accomplish a lot. And I think it's just time to get the hell up out of there. Because at the end of the day, it has to come down to him wanting to do it, not someone motivating him to do it. He has to motivate himself to do it. And if it's not there, then it's all she wrote.
Go ahead, HOD.
My man at the bottom of the screen, I think he mentioned something that might be, there's probably more stuff to this than we'll ever know behind the scenes, obviously. And his wife knows, obviously. And one thing he meant, maybe she does see him moping around the house. And if you listen clearly, try to listen to the tape again, you listen that she says, it's not for what's next in boxing that he's going to do it. And then he said, no, it's for me to make, to help me make that, the wife.
Right. He was setting up because the dude asked him about boxing. Deontay Wilder started talking about that, and she was trying to tell him you ain't answering the question about box. Like, why are you yelling from the sideline while you talking to me?
I'm thinking maybe she's wanting him to
men like that. But he wasn't answering about boxing. Then he was like, "No, I'm gonna use that to help make the decision about it." Like, oh, she was like, "Okay," you know what I'm saying? Because she was like, "Why you bringing it almost like that ain't got nothing to do with this? That ain't about boxing." But why you jumping in? But hey, look, some people, I know guys like that. Everywhere they go, every move they take, they got their lady right beside them. Have at it, homie. But when I go to the studio, I would leave my wife at home. I didn't bring my wife with me to the studio. I didn't want her just hanging around the studio. With any girl I ever dated, I just didn't really like the girl hanging around the studio. Some guys like, hey, look, we if we're going to get dinner, we going to get dinner. I don't go get the takeout and come back, and you don't go get it. No, we got to go together. I mean, every step of the way. Hey, look, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm just saying that was kind of telling though, HOD. I'm sorry to cut you off, but go ahead. Yeah, that was kind of telling. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm just saying maybe she, yeah, he may say he's using it for that decision, but maybe she's pushing it for other reasons more than what it is for boxing. That's what he thinks it's for, but she's pushing it maybe for other reasons for him. Maybe he is depressed at the crib. Maybe he's not. He's whatever he may be going through. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, not to knock the use of it, but that some people will use it to enlighten themselves, right, and whatnot. But I don't think maybe she doesn't want him to use it for the decision of boxing, but for other reasons that are going on behind the scenes. And maybe he is depressed. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not happy with the results of everything that's happened. Maybe he obviously hasn't taken the loss to heart that he believes he's lost and whatnot. So maybe it's going to help him in that journey of acceptance. Maybe that's what she's pushing it for.
And look, let me ask you guys this now. How do you guys feel about that? I remember him coming out giving Fury a congratulations after the third fight. How do you guys feel? Does it seem like he still hasn't got over the loss?
Somebody wrote that statement for him. That wasn't him. That wasn't it.
Okay. But regardless, he approved it though. How about that? He know how to read. He approved it. He congratulated him. He congratulated him, bro. You can't keep saying the guy cheated if you congratulate him. Like, did he cheat or did he beat you fair and square?
Have you ever heard anybody say they sorry to you? Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Oh yeah,
and you know it's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is this: is it the guy? Man, I lost my point. Lost my spot. What was I about to say? Okay, yeah. So he beat you fair and square the third time, but he cheated the second time, and he cheated the first time. Why didn't he cheat the third time? I just don't. I don't know. I don't get. At what point are you congratulating and you accept the loss and like you beat me fair and square, congratulations, and we put on a classic and yada yada yada, or is it no? You cheated me still. Like I don't get it. I passed the mic though. Go ahead, HOD or whoever is next.
Nah, man. I mean, I think he hasn't accepted it. It's obviously he hasn't accepted it, and he still believes in whatever the quackery that was going on with the spike water and the referee and whatever and Breland and all that stuff. So I mean, he's still in that realm. That's what that's what he believes that happened, and that's where he's at. And so I mean, has he accepted this loss and the turn the turnout of what he expected to be the closing chapter of his career? No, he hasn't. And maybe who knows? Maybe this ayahuasca would help him realize to accept it and to live life. You know what I mean? There's more to life, man. That's all I gotta say. There's more to life. He's still got his faculties. The man's got money. He's got a beautiful family. Yo, man, he's got to find his new journey, man. That's all he needs to do is find whatever else is next and go for it. I mean, CTE is real. So I'm just saying that he should retire for the betterment of himself before something worse can happen in the ring.
Go ahead. Pass it around.
So I just found out with this conversation, man, that people only want freedom of choice when it's them. They don't want freedom of choice. Right? Let this man do whatever he wants to do. If smoking marijuana ain't working for him and he needs to graduate to something else because he's depressed, let him do it. With Tyson Fury was overweight and doing cocaine. Nobody was telling Tyson Fury to stay retired and telling him life is beautiful. He's made enough money. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. He's undefeated, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing I wanted to bring up is that Mike Tyson's podcast, he talks about psychedelic drugs, which I'm pretty sure that's what his wife watches. And Mike Tyson did the Toad, and he smoked weed all the way up until the Roy Jones fight, went out there and still put on a good performance at the age of 50. Deontay Wilder definitely could do the exact same thing. And also Rashad Evans. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rashad Evans, but Rashad Evans had retired from UFC, and he was doing psychedelic drugs. He just fought at the age of 41, and he looked spectacular. So we can't have these double standards. Like my boy Marq said, Deontay Wilder, like it or not, whatever you think about him, is the most exciting boxer in the sport right now. And I'll tell you why. Part of his sloppiness is the theater, because he could look bad for 12 rounds and then boom, it just be over. Everybody be like, dang, Wilder look horrible, like an Ortiz fight. And then you blink and Ortiz is on the ground, sweat flying off his face. That's theater. People like to see theater. Deontay Wilder is the most exciting fighter at the heavyweight division, period. If he fought Alexander Usyk, he would dust Alexander Usyk just because of styles, because he's long. Like Mark said, the reason he had a problem with Tyson Fury is because he was a taller fighter and Tyson Fury can box and he's big. He was just leaning all his weight on Wilder's little skinny legs. But Deontay Wilder definitely could do psychedelic drugs because that's his choice. And if he comes back and he starts sparking people, people are gonna hop back on the Deontay Wilder bandwagon, whether they like him or not. They're gonna hop back and say, "Oh, well, he's still sloppy," or they're gonna have some type of criticism for him. But the point is, give him the chance to choose. I thought we were for freedom of choice.
He could do whatever he wants. We're just getting an opinion of what we think is best. That's all we're doing. He could do whatever the heck he wants. If he wants to take a shot of some heroin, go for it. If you want to do whatever, whatever. You want to shit on your pants like he wants to do in some Depends, go for it, my man. I mean, nobody's saying that. We're just giving an opinion of what we think is best. And like you compare, like when Spence had his car accident. How old was Spence though? How old is Wilder? There's a big difference. How old was Tyson Fury when he went, hiatus and started doing, coke and got 400 pounds, bro? It's not the same. This man is coming into ancient age in boxing. He's 36, 37, 2 broken eardrums again, a broken hand now that he had surgery on. He ain't gonna be able to be ready for the ring till he's gonna be 37, going on maybe 38. I mean, when do you stop? You know what I mean? When you're trembling, bro, when you really can't even talk anymore. I mean, I'm just saying, for the betterment, there's more to life in boxing than to entertain me. I'm just talking about him as a man. He's got a beautiful family. He's well off. What else is there to prove? Nothing, man. Nothing. Go find a new venture and be the best at it, and show that there's more to you than just boxing, man. That you can do other avenues in life. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just saying, there's just more to it. I'm just talking for him as a man. There's more to it. There's more to life than boxing. There's more to life than any occupation you do. And he can enjoy it with all his faculties as we speak today.
I agree with what both of you said. I'm definitely not depriving him of his freedom of choice. I was just pretty much zeroing in on the context in which he was speaking, and he sounded like somebody, he looked like somebody, his body language looked like somebody who was over it. Whether it's him taking the punishment in these last couple fights, the politics that he stated, and the overall cheating of the sport, sounds like he's over it to me. So I'm not saying physically I don't think that he could perform at a peak level. I think that physically he's fine. I think mentally he's not right though, in terms of these things weighing on him to the point to where it could lead to a depression, or led to a serious bout with self-doubt. So I don't think physically he's done, but I do think mentally that when Tyson Fury put you on your ass, some clicks in your head. Whether it was the punches just taking a toll, or other people seen that too. Yeah, if we just going on ability versus ability, Deontay Wilder, if he lands on anybody, he can knock him down. But I know that this boxing thing, what I love about it is sweet science. Styles make fights. To where, yeah, he could, if he touches Usyk has to go in immediate retirement. But I also know Usyk has the best footwork in this division by far. And then if he slip one of these and hit him square, Usyk probably hit the same, probably has, if not as much punching power as Tyson Fury, just a little bit less. He can't take many of those. If Joshua hits him, it's a Rivaderce. Which we know it goes both ways. But I'm just saying that has to play in his mind when Tyson Fury does that to you. So I'm not depriving the brother of his freedom of choice. Like I said, I think athletically, he's still the most athletic boxer, most athletic heavyweight boxing today. You know, I still believe that if he lands on anybody, except for Tyson Fury, because he's landed on Fury and has not beat him. If he lands on anybody else in the division, that he beats them. But I also know that if Joshua lands, it's a wrap. If Dylan White lands, it's a wrap. If Ruiz lands, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So, and we wasn't saying that before. We wouldn't. I was saying it with Joshua, but anybody else, I really wasn't saying it. So, no, I just hope the brother makes the decision that's best for him and his well-being. And if he reemerges from this, he'll prove us all wrong that, yeah, this thing really helped him come to a pivotal, make a pivotal decision as he came into a fork in the road in his life, and he went on to be even a better boxer. But I don't, if I'm being honest with you, I think I hear someone that's want to be at peace with the decision that he's already made, and that's to retire.
Fair enough. Let me do these 2 super chats real quick. Bands on Bands, appreciate the donation, man. Let me give you the drop. Okay, Bands on Bands got 2 in here. Let me do both of
I'll
these.
give you the $2. You give him the $2. All right, pay him the $2. Oh, pay the $2.
Said Wilder's girl tricking him into being a junkie. Okay. I read it. No comment though. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's his wife, so I don't want to say she's trying to make him be a junkie. But she definitely sounds supportive of this decision. I do see somebody said something else in the chat. I don't know what's that. There's a lot of good comments in here. I'm missing some of those. Let me go to this one. Bands on Bands with the other donation. Let me give you the drop.
I got 5 on it.
He said, I don't want to see the champ doing psychedelic drugs, then keep taking punches to the head. Interesting point. He said, stop comparing Tyson and Roy exhibition to Fury AJ. Okay, I get what you're saying. Stop comparing their exhibition. And because Mike Tyson does do the toad. I get it, right? That's not the same as fight. I get it. That's not the same as him fighting Roy Jones. Is not the same as Wilder fighting Fury. Good point. Good point. Great conversation we have here. But go ahead.
My man made me think when he said trying to make him a junkie, made me think of Pookie. I was prime queen. Oh man. But
shout out to Uncle Kenny in the chat, Reggie O, Nick Rich. Go ahead. Don, everybody. Go ahead, HOD.
No, my man. I mean, look, man. Maybe he does something out of this. You know what I mean? But same thing that Megas have been speaking straight with it, man. I mean, yeah, it's not about depriving him of his choice or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about him as a man. I think the man, could use his physical abilities where he's at and do other things in life. He's got kids. You know what I mean? And start doing that family life, man. That's what's important, man. You know, the game is already over. 36, 37. Can you make another payday? Yes, he can. But for what? You know what I mean? For what?
Man, your mic loud as fuck, or is that just me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, your mic loud as hell.
It's always loud.
Yeah. Hey, look, what do you guys think of this? I had a theory. He would fight again, and this is just a theory. I don't know. Put a case on me for speculation. All right, but look, let me ask y'all this: if he walks away like this, wouldn't people say Fury retired him? Fury beat him out of box, and Fury made you quit. I see somebody in the chat said this. Jaden was like, real talk, the last thing we remember is Wilder got beat. Bro, he got to accept it because, yeah. He said he's making excuses. As a fan, it looks like he's still making an excuse, I guess. What do you guys think about that? Like, he'll fight again because he don't want to walk away on the lows inside, and he don't want to walk away like Fury retired me. Fury made me quit the sport.
All the greats have walked away with a loss. All the greats, except for one or two, and that's it.
Fair enough. Let me get Cassidy in here. Let me let him. I ain't heard him speak in a minute. Go ahead, Cassidy. You sleep or what? UK Cassidy. UK Cassidy going once, going twice. He sleep over there, or his mic muted. Go ahead, boxing story. How do you think that looks to his fan base? Like, man, Last time you saw your man, he was on the canvas.
Well, I mean, if they haven't been watching, if they've only been watching boxing for the last 5 years or 6 years or whatever, you know, then that's how they're going to look at it. But I mean, we got to look at logic, you know. If he is to come back, if he has the right mentality to come back, he would have to take a little bit of time. If psychologically he's been damaged from this, I mean, he's been physically damaged, but definitely psychologically. I mean, like you referenced before, Meldrick Taylor. Ever since that damn fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., he never was the same. And he didn't take. Well, he took. Don't get it twisted. He took damage before,
a lot.
That fight, you could tell those body. No matter how much he was winning on the scorecard, you could tell that pressure on body punches, man, was fucking him up. You know, as far as Deontay Wilder is concerned, if he was to come back, he needs to take time to heal up spiritually, mentally, psychologically, physically as well. It's not impossible. I mean, for heavyweights, you know, look, I mean, Archie Moore was fighting up all the way to his late 40s at a high level. All right, one of the best fighters of any generation, having my top 10. You know, he fought at heavyweight. You know, and heavyweight has probably the longest lifespan. You know, George Foreman definitely is another guy. Now, George Foreman's probably a little bit different because you could throw everything. You can fucking throw a sledgehammer at that man's chin and you wouldn't knock him out. You know what I'm saying? So he might be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But I think that with Wilder, because of the guys that are here today, he would have to pick. They would have, and I said this before. If they were to rethink his career and say, look, you got one more shot at this. Let's do it. They need to have a 3-fight plan. Fight one of those Kawanaki as a return, Robert Helenius as a return, someone like that. Then fight somebody in the top 10, and then after that, maybe one more fight, and then the 4th fight could be for the title, or 4th or 3rd fight, depending on how he looks. Fight, you know what I'm saying? But the problem, and the reason why this guys like myself and other people are pessimistic about him going out like that is because of the guys that are just coming in, like Jared Anderson and Frankie Sanchez. And Frankie Sanchez, I don't care how bad he looked in the other fight, well, how boring he looked in the other fight. That dude can box, and that dude can hurt. You know, Jared Anderson, Jared Anderson, you could talk about, oh, well, you know, he doesn't have much experience, but you know what? And only in this generation, any other generation be like, okay, if he feel like he's if he gets up to the task and he can fight this dude, all right, and he's already getting work with the best heavyweight boxers available in the division, then put him up in there. See, when you're fighting young, hungry guys, you know, who look at you as damn food in the street, so to speak, then you have to understand from this standpoint, like, look, you get up in there, there's a good chance of possibility that you could lose to one of these guys. And
right.
And once that loss sets in, your stock falls down, especially against a young guy like that. So I think it depends on how they move him, you know. But the way the division's looking right now, I would not want to put Wilder with no fucking Joe Joyce. Certain guys, and even with Andy Ruiz, and the reason why I say Andy Ruiz, it would be a good fight, but the reason why it's a 50-50 fight is about range. Wilder's not coordinated and athletic enough to really move out and and use his range in terms of like actually boxing like that. If someone has the ability to box on the inside, that leverage on that right hand is not going to be there like it is from a certain distance, like he shoots it out. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's up in his grill, so to speak, you know, in the inside ripping uppercuts, which there's not many guys like that in the division today. But Andy Ruiz is definitely a guy like that. You know, I think that might present a challenge for him. So it's about the matchmaking to getting him back into the top guy so he can get his confidence back and get his rhythm back, because like I said, the skepticism is there and it's justified because of the guys that's coming up right now that's already there.
Fair enough. Let's pass it around. Go ahead. Cassidy, you up? Cassidy, you still there? UK Cassidy going once. Unmute your mic, bro. You still there? You there? You sleep? You sleep? Hello? Hello? Cassidy? Cassidy? I'll be respectful to him. I ain't gonna pick on him too hard because I don't know. I think the UK, we 6 hours behind him, so it might be like 7 in the morning. So he might have dozed right back off. Let's pass it.
Yeah, so I agree with what the historian guy said. He's absolutely 100% correct. Heavyweights age different. There's less punches coming at them, and they have longer careers. He's absolutely 100% correct on that. So with that being said, why don't we give Wilder a chance? Why don't we give Wilder a chance to show? See, because you got to remember this. Boxers are like 1% of the population. So they don't think like us. You know, we get up and go to work. They get up and go grind, and they take chances that make people scared for their life. When Ali was fighting George Foreman, people were scared he's going to die in the ring. What if he listened to people? He wouldn't be Ali. We need to give Wilder that same respect to go chase greatness, because what ends up happening is the more risk they take when they get old and they take losses, it fades over time. People forget about though. They forget about Evander Holyfield. Like, he just lost to Victor Belfort. Nobody's gonna remember that in 50 years from now. They're gonna be talking about the fights with Riddick Bowe and exciting fights. That's what people are gonna remember them for. But you got to give them a chance to go at greatness. Now, as far as the Mike Tyson comparison to Deontay Wilder doing the toes and stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, but people were saying after that Roy fight that Tyson could go beat Tyson Fury. Am I lying about that?
I didn't say that shit.
No, not you. The boxing public. It was like literally like a headline. Tyson Fury in negotiations with Mike Tyson. A 50-year-old Mike Tyson doing toe. But we'll tell Deontay Wilder, oh, you're too old. That's crazy, man. Deontay Wilder deserves the respect because he hasn't taken a lot of punishment. Like I said, take the fights with Tyson Fury out. He hadn't took a lot of punishment up until then. Deontay Wilder's a long-rangey guy.
Can't take it out though. That happened. We can't just take it out though, right? Nope.
What I'm trying to tell you is, it never happens with one fight. It happens with fights up until that one fight. Like you said, Medrick Taylor was taking a whole bunch of punishment until he got into the fight that took it out of him. It's never one fight. It's always an accumulation of shots up until that one fight that got you out of there. He hadn't taken serious damage up until that fight. And here's another thing. Whenever we go to gyms today, it's different protocol than the days of yesteryear. Like if I go to spar and I have a concussion and I tell my coach, he sits me out until I recover from the concussion. Back in the days, they would put you right back in there with a concussion. If you go back and look at what's the guy from Crunk, mean guy, Gerald McCullen. Gerald McCullen. Right now he can't even speak. But if you go look at his fights up until that one fight, in one of the fights, he was blinking a lot. Like, he had nerve damage already in his brain. He was doing that for like 2 fights. And then the third fight, when he had it with Nigel Benn, that's whenever he got the brain damage. So it don't happen in one fight. Give Deontay Wilder a chance.
What about Patrick Day?
Who?
Patrick Day, God bless the day. He died in the ring.
So, fighters don't think like y'all. So, like, I can speak like I'm a fighter, right? And I told my wife this.
What happened in one night though? It won't a lot of blink with him. He died in that one night though. That's what I'm saying.
We don't know what he could have had a concussion in sparring, and his coach just put him back in there. We don't know what the protocols was. The boxing protocols that's put in that you're supposed to follow is you're supposed to take breaks when you have concussions, etc. We don't know if they were following that because he got in there and had swelling of the brain. He might have not even went to the emergency room after. I don't know what the story is. But what I'm trying to say is, I told my wife this. I'm a fighter. If I die in the ring, I would rather go doing something I love. That's how fighters think.
What about sex? I love sex. I want to go out fucking in. I don't want to go out getting punched in the face, respectfully. But go ahead.
And that's it. That's a perfect analogy. If you was with a bad B, I don't want to get you flagged. You with a bad B, and it's the baddest B of all time, and you having sex, and you die right when you bust, would you die happy, man?
No, because I ain't get to tell nobody yet.
fighters
I
don't
ain't even
think
get to watch the video. I want to watch my video back. I like if I'm fucking the baddest bitch in the world tonight, one time only, man, I want to go back and watch my work. Like, man, you see, I had that bitch leg up swinging around the ceiling fan. No, I'm joking. Let me do this super chat real quick. Shout out to Uncle Kenny with the $10 donation.
A 10, a 10, a 10, a fucking 10.
Great content, great panel. Hit the lights. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just want to state clearly for the record that I think Wilder can still. I think his athletic ability is still 100% intact. I just don't think mentally he's 100% there. Now, mind you, those heavyweights that he fought before Luis Ortiz, let's be real. Any of the guys in the top 5, the top 7 do them the same way. They knock their ass out. Probably not in the dynamic fashion as Deontay Wilder did. The fights I seen with Luis Ortiz was winning those fights until the dynamic right hand showed up. Now you move up in class in boxer, which we would agree unanimously that Tyson Fury is a better boxer by far than Ortiz. Anthony Joshua is a better boxer. Usyk is a better boxer. Ruiz, I would say Ruiz is better, but that's more so. I think Ruiz gets Charles, the brother that Ortiz last fought, out quicker. Even though Ortiz got him out the way, which I knew he was gonna do. But I just see a thing if Deontay Wilder goes, like I hate to say it, but my boy Miracle Man Danny Jacobs, he won the fight. He did. But man, Danny Jacobs he's damn near at the crossroads. We finna have to send Uncle Charles. We finna have to send the dude to touch him in the temple.
Be lonely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to send old dude with the leather jacket to touch him on the temples and turn his eyes black.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think I believe wholeheartedly that Danny Jacobs won that fight, but he didn't look like Miracle Man. You know, like he got out hustled. And because of certain things not the same, they was able to take that fight from Danny Jacobs. Because Danny Jacobs won rounds 1 through 6 to me clearly. And I think I would have gave him round 11. You know what I'm saying? Like in another debatable. But he won the fight. But it's up to where it's left up to the judges, you know. So with Deontay Wilder, the conversation that he's having right now, it doesn't sound like someone that's ready to fight. Like I said, I just believe he's over it. I think his athletic ability is 100% still intact, though. I do. So if he get a few touch-ups, you know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, I think there should be a clear-cut plan for him if he comes back. Don't just put him in the ring like that. Like build him back up. Take the same approach you took to start his career. If you're gonna do it again. I just don't. I think I just hear somebody. I just think I hear someone who's made it up in their mind. I got, you know what I'm saying? My life is more important than boxing. Because he said preaching. You already know he think he's a storefront bootleg preacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. He isn't verbally. He isn't the most articulate. He doesn't articulate the best. His verbiage isn't that, but when he speaks, he speaks with conviction, and I believe him. So not trying to just trying to lighten the mood, but I'm telling you, Mark, this shit made me uneasy. Hearing that made me uneasy, man. Like in this context, and it just proved what I think that I've been seeing all the while.
Let me say this too, real quick. Hey, Royce, Gerald McClellan, Gerald is not deceased, my brother. I interviewed his sister a few months back. He's not deceased. He's not deceased, bro. He does need help though. He does need help, and it's a site called Ring. Oh man, what is it? Shout out to is it Ring? Is it Ring something down? Troy and Major Key would know, but they got a damn, I forgot the name of that company, man. It's a nonprofit organization that they help boxers like Gerald, and his sister was there, and doing that interview, and she's taking care of him, so he's not deceased, bro. Please. He actually just had a birthday in October. I believe he turned 54 years old. So happy belated birthday to Gerald. Yeah. Pass the mic though. I'll pass the mic. Go ahead.
If you actually think about what let's say he does come back, the landscape of the heavyweight division, he's not gonna get a title shot till sometime maybe late next year if he's able to get a title shot, which means he'll be like 30. He'll be going on 39. You know what I mean? So what you know, whatever he decides to do, I support it. It is what it is. But if he thinks he's gonna be a champion anytime soon, it's not gonna happen until like late next year. So
yeah, man. Go ahead. Let's pass the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yo, crickets. There we go.
So we need you, Mark, to hit that that speculation thing, man. You heard what he said. He can't get a title shot. He's Deontay Wilder. Why can't he get a title shot? So
because there's other people in line.
The reason Deontay Wilder said he was going to take mushrooms, we're on here talking about Deontay Wilder taking mushrooms. That's how popular he is in the sport. So whether you dislike him or like him, like I said, he's the most exciting heavyweight in this sport. He should not take no tune-ups, and I'll tell you why. If he takes a tune-up and he looks anything less than spectacular, the people that are saying he should retire now are going to be like, yep, he's done. I'll never watch Deontay Wilder fight again. Yep, he should leave. Deontay Wilder should fight champions because he's older in age, right? And Deontay Wilder would beat everybody but Tyson Fury stylistically because he's so long and he charges on real estate to come in, and they're going to meet that right hand. Especially everybody knows the right hand of the southpaw killer is the right hand. Everybody's talking about Usyk footwork. Deontay Wilder's longer than Usyk. His footwork means nothing on the outside. He can't get in.
Explain how he'll get a title shot at where he's at right now with everybody else in line waiting to do unification for undisputed.
Well, who's his promoter?
That'll be what, Bob Arum? No, I mean, who is his promoter right now?
I thought he was Shelly Finkel. I think it was Shelly Finkel.
Shelly Finkel. All right.
His advisor. Who's his advisor?
Oh, Al Hammond, PDC.
Uncle Al. Uncle Al could go find a champion in New Zealand we never heard of, like he did with Adrian Bronner, and get Deontay Wilder a championship fight.
Against who? The belt's already. What are you talking about?
So the UK don't have belts. America's the only place.
Man, nobody cares about them belts for unification, man. We're talking about for undisputed right now. You want him to fight for some McDonald belts?
You just got through saying he should take tune-up fights, and then you said he could never fight a champion. If the UK
I'm saying right now.
Hey, look, we're getting a little out of hand too. We cutting each other off. We're going back and forth a little too quick. Let people finish their thoughts and points, guys. If you was misunderstood, HOD, please clarify your statement.
I'm saying is the landscape right now, the way the real belts where they're at the McDonald belts, the real belts. When is Wilder expected to be able to get a title shot? We want undisputed. That's what boxing is clamoring for. Nobody's clamoring for to see Wilder get a title shot with no belt and nothing to there's nothing to that. We want to see undisputed. We want to know who is the best heavyweight in the world with no doubt. So the way the landscape is today, Wilder is not going to get a title shot. So sometime late next year, if he even takes tune-up fights and gets himself in position to fight whoever is going to be undisputed by that time next year. So he'll be almost 39 years old by that time. That's what I'm saying.
No, not next year. He only 35, 36 now. He can fight next year. Because look, you can possibly have undisputed by the end of the year. Wilder's a draw, no matter whether it's Usyk. Let's say Usyk wins, or let's say AJ wins. Let's say Fury wins. In the meantime, if the guy fights, let's just say he fought once, maybe twice, people will want to see him. I believe, especially if he's back to knocking people out in the next two fights. People like, yeah, he's back, but some people was like, yeah, is he back? And I think he'll put S's and C's. Let me do this drop real quick, and I'm gonna go right back to the Boston Scholar. Shout out to Eric Pipe. He said, just cause. Thank you for the love and support. Shout out to Eric Pipe.
I got 5 on it.
Boston Scholar, go ahead. You can reply to HLD.
So this argument is always going to be an argument to the end of time, and it's really crazy because we was just talking about this on one of your other lives. So if Deontay Wilder right now in his state right now said I'm back and he fought Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fights Usyk for undisputed, which fight you watching? Don't say both of them. You can't answer with that. Which fight you watching?
What was the question again?
If Alexander Usyk fights Tyson Fury for undisputed, and Deontay Wilder fights Anthony Joshua for no belts, and you can't say both fights, they happen on the same night, which fight we watching?
I'm watching undisputed.
What about you, Marq?
Don't ask me, because I might want to see that. I want to know people. I don't think a loss kills you in the game. I think actually it makes you vulnerable, and people like to see somebody who's a little vulnerable. That's hard, man. That's a hard one for me. That's how hard that decision is. How about that? That's how hard that decision is, because both of those guys, I've seen them get stopped. Both of these guys have shown vulnerability. That's a fight I've been wanting to see for years. And I don't know, but I mean, I want to see undisputed, but I like Wilder, man, and I like AJ. I like all these dudes, man. Not to sound biased. I mean, not to sound like I'm riding the fence, but shit, man. Don't ask me, man. I'll go last. Because I'm biased, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna watch both of them. What you mean I can't watch both of them? I gotta watch both of them.
Even if you were to flip it around.
And HLD, your mic is so loud. That's why I'm
Damn.
trying not to get you to cut people off. Especially when you're passionate, it gets even louder. But go ahead.
Let me try to cover my mic. If the roles were reversed and it was undisputed Wilder and AJ, and then you had, Tyson Fury and Usyk fighting, well, then I'm watching undisputed again. I'll be watching then Wilder and AJ, because I want to know who is the baddest man on the planet, with no doubt. You know what I mean? So it sounds more like, maybe you're just more of a fan of Wilder, which is okay. It's all good. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. I got my favorites too. So, I mean, but for me, in my choice, it would be to see who is the baddest man on the planet. So I'll be watching the undisputed heavyweight fight over any other fight.
Right. Let somebody else answer, HLD. I think you already answered too. Megazar, the boxing historian. Y'all tell me, what do y'all think as well? Good question though. They on the same night. Which one you watching? Boxing story, Megazar, go ahead. You ready?
That's hard, because one is the championship, and one is what was the perceived should have been championship. I'm leaning towards AJ and Wilder, because I'm a fan of AJ, but my second favorite heavyweight in the division is Usyk. If I'm being honest, I think I'm gonna watch the AJ. I think I'm gonna watch the AJ Wilder, just because AJ is my favorite heavyweight. So I think I'll be watching that, and I would want to be proven right that AJ would box him up and knock him out. So that's why I would watch it. The Usyk and Fury, it's gonna be a technical. It's gonna pretty much be what Joshua did to Ruiz in the second fight, but just a little bit with more skill from both sides. So I'm gonna go with the Wilder AJ.
All right, boxing historian, same question. Your mic muted if you're talking. There you go.
Yeah. So which one I've watched? Well, since that Wilder and Joshua have proven that they're not the two best heavyweights in the division, and Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk have proven to be the two best heavyweights in the division. I believe that both of them have the belts, and both of those fights were on the same night. I would pick Fury and Usyk just because it's for undisputed, because whoever has the belts is the baddest man on the fucking planet, you know, and the best man in boxing at that point, because the reason why you don't have a heavyweight in the pound for pound is because whoever's the undisputed heavyweight champion is the man over everybody, because he's the biggest dude and the biggest, baddest dude. So, I mean, if you're the champion, I watch championship fights. Now, I will try to watch both at the same time, but if I only had one option, it would be for the undisputed championships.
All right, now go ahead. Now, Boston Scholar, answer your own question. Good question to the
So
channel.
to me, I'm watching Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua because I know it's going to be an exciting fight. It's not going to be a boring boxing match like Fury and the other guy would probably be. And I'm watching it because it's it's show business. People show up to see gore. That's just what it is. We show up to see knockouts. Like, which probability of a fight of a knockout? So if you go watch the Usyk fight and then you hear about how excited Deontay Wilder and what, you're gonna be mad that you missed that fight. So the reason why I asked that question is because on one hand I'll hear people say belts don't mean anything. Deontay Wilder was given that belt. He didn't defend it against Dylan White. The belt don't mean anything. And then on the other hand, I'll hear them say belts mean everything. So it can't be both. Because Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier the second time when George Foreman was a champion, and that fight did numbers. And then he was 30. He was around the age Deontay Wilder is, and he went and fought George Foreman. Nobody was telling him, hey, you struggle with Joe Frazier, and George Foreman annihilated him. You should retire. So I say we don't keep stuff in perspective. Either the belts mean something or they don't mean anything. Because right now, Floyd Mayweather could come back to boxing with he ain't ranked in no official belt. He can come right now and fight the champion. He can come right back right now and fight the champions because belts don't really mean anything. It's show business. It's the circus now. Mike Tyson got a WBC belt for fighting the exhibition.
You just made an argument with about I don't know who that thinks that the belts don't mean nothing. I as for we on the panel, I don't know if any of us said that, but I do think that belts do matter. They matter because they prove who you are. They prove that you're the best in whatever sanctioning body you're in, and if you have all the belts, that means you are the baddest person in that division by far. So I mean, as far as whoever says that belts don't matter, well, I don't know, but I know it's not me.
Go ahead. I understand what he was saying. He was pretty much saying that it's about the business. If Floyd comes back as official boxing, fights the champion, what boxing match is going to outsell that? Who's going to outgate that? Like, it's Floyd Mayweather, the biggest name in boxing in the last 15 years. So I understand exactly what the brother is saying. He's saying that it's the business aspect, and Floyd is going to generate hella business. The Wilder Fury is going to generate hella business. It would generate business. He said this is a gory sport. I love to see the sweet science, but most people tune in to see Mortal Kombat. So, like, I understand exactly what he's saying. But to your point, HD, I agree the belts do matter. But he was saying that certain personalities, certain people could supersede that perception of belts actually mattering because it's about the business. Everything in America is about business first. Like, if these fights weren't making money, this shit wouldn't be on networks. Like, it's about business first. So I understand exactly what the brother's saying.
Hey, can I make a quick
Please, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, I think people are underestimating the Usyk and Fury bout for undisputed. Like how much people around the world is probably going to watch that fight over the fight of Joshua and Fury. I think people are overestimating how popular that fight would be, and underestimating how popular Fury and Usyk would be actually all around the world. If it was Joshua versus Fury, that fight would do better than both fights, you know. But if we take Joshua out of the equation and put Usyk in, you have all of Eastern Europe, and you have people in Australia who are fans of Usyk. You also have people that are fans of Fury, or people that hate Fury that would watch that fight. I think looking at it from that standpoint, that fight would do a whole lot, worldwide, not just in America, just worldwide, even more so than Anthony Joshua and Fury and Wilder. That fight might do decent numbers over here in the States. It actually might do maybe the same amount of what Fury and Wilder, actually less than what Fury and Wilder did, which was 600,000 buys. Yeah, somebody put that out, 600,000 buys. It's going to do less than that. But people are going to watch that fight a whole lot more because of the international aspect to that fight. So that's what I would say.
Go ahead, Boston Scott.
Well, I disagree. I think that the fight that happened, like when they were in negotiation for like 3 years, they were like the talk of YouTube because everybody wanted to see that fight. When AJ was in negotiation with Tyson Fury, it kind of like died down because everybody, with those two, we know what's up, man. They both come to knock people out. They're both excited. It's not going to go 12 rounds. We already know that. We know that somebody's getting knocked out. We just don't know what round or how it's going to go. So I think that fight would outset, but I could be wrong. You're right. They do have like a strong following internationally. So I could be wrong on that, but I just think it brings me to the point of what we talked about on Marq's last live. We talked about Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford doesn't have any belts, does he? Marq, correct me if I'm wrong. Does he have any belts?
Yes, it's a WBO belt.
He has a WBO at welterweight?
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped Jeff Long for that belt.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So I can't use it. I was gonna say if Ugas if Ugas had 2 belts and Errol Spence had no belts. I mean, not Errol Spence. Crawford had no belts. Will we pay to see Crawford versus Spence, or will we pay to go see Ugas versus for undisputed? Styles make fights, and we always say it, but and the cash register reflects it, but we don't be honest about it. We want to see people knock people out at the end of the day. We know that if Spence matched up with Crawford, somebody's going to sleep, man. Crawford show up to knock people out, and that's what it is. It's show business, man. You got to get in there and knock people out.
Yeah, but I think belts matter. Like when people say, "Man, these belts don't matter," fuck these belts. Excuse me, pardon. These guys work their whole life to become champions. Their whole life, they start off trying to get a gold medal. After that, they want to be a world champion. Once they become a world champion, even if Charles Martin is in the history books forever, he's always going to be a world champion. Yeah, he lost it. The way he got the belt, the guy tripped and hurt his knee. Charles Martin becomes a world champion. Charles Martin, I believe his first defense was to AJ, and he got stopped. But he's always going to be former world heavyweight champion. And he's going to be in those history books forever, like whether we like it or not. And I think that means something to those guys. Once you become a champion, it changes your pay rate. They name a street after you in your hometown. Things like that happen. I think those things matter. I'll keep it short though. Go ahead. Anybody want to jump in?
At the end of Floyd's career, they're throwing the belts away, like getting rid of them. You know why? Because towards the end, same thing with Muhammad Ali. People recognize them as the champions because of the performance in the ring, their skills, and the cash that they were bringing in. If you do those 2 things, people are going to forget all about the belts. I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul fought for a WBC belt within a year. I would not be surprised. And he done jumped everybody's. Like you said, when people get in the ring, they put blood, sweat, and tears in years into trying to strive to get a belt. And somebody like Jake Paul could come in the sport in 2 or 3 years and go fight for a title. Mike Tyson could come back after years of being out the ring and 50, and they talk about him fighting Tyson Fury for the title. Titles don't really mean much. Your titles mean who's the highest. They go to the highest bidder. Deontay Wilder went to the WBC president and told him, "I don't want to fight the mandatory." And the WBC president said, "Okay." That's how much the belts mean. There's literally a documentary out there of Jose Suleiman's dad being corrupt with Don King. There's a documentary like that. They busted him and everything. Don King was putting in whoever he wanted to, moving Peter McNeely up in the rankings. Like the belts are for sell to the highest bidder. They're not what they're supposed to be, or they don't represent the best. Like if Crawford didn't defend his mandatory and he just let the belt go, would people still say Crawford was a champion? We absolutely would. Nobody can name the guy that beat Frank Bruno for the title without using Google. Who on the panel could name the guy that beat Frank Bruno for the title?
I thought Mike Tyson beat Frank Bruno.
Are you talking?
It wasn't for the.
Was it Marvin? What's his name? Frazier? Nah.
Bruno had a title when Tyson fought him, right? Are you talking about who Bruno beat to get the title? You mean no? Or what?
I'm gonna look it up right now. If I'm not mistaken,
he was
I think
a champion.
Bone Crusher Smith. I think he was champion. Bone Crusher Smith took the title from him. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't like to be wrong, so let me look it up right now.
But go ahead, HOD. I thought you was trying to jump in. Go ahead. HOD, your mic muted. Go ahead.
He's basing his opinion the belts don't matter by a small segment, because I don't see that. I think the belts do matter. They matter even more when you're still fighting the best and defending it against all comers that are the best. So yeah, I do believe belts do matter. Is there a small segment of fighters that you got the Tank Davis, who's got a small segment of hardcore followers of his and fans that follow him regardless? Yeah. But how many of those are out there? You know what I mean? There's not many fighters like that. And so I'm not sure where my man is trying to bring his analogy from, but belts do matter in every division. Every fighter wants to fight for the belt. So maybe he doesn't believe it, person himself, but trust me, all these fighters do, and there's nothing more, I think, more glorious to see in sports is to see the culmination of blood, sweat, and tears happen in that one moment when they are crowned champion in the ring or in any sport, like we saw Errol Donald yesterday. You know what I mean? That's just, there's nothing more spectacular to watch in sports is to watch when a man or woman finally becomes a champion. So yeah, belts matter, rings matter, trophies matter. Absolutely, I do. My man posed a question, and he posed a question, but he didn't have the answer, man. Who beat Frank Bruno for his belt, man?
I had an answer. I just don't like to be wrong, so I don't like to misinform people, especially when I'm on somebody else's platform. So that's why I wanted to look it up. You're entitled to your opinion, man.
Pass the mic. Go ahead, Megazar.
I was just gonna say, in individual sports, yeah, I believe, but a ring or no ring, Barry Sanders is still the best running back of all time to me.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? All of the components wasn't there, like say the 90s Cowboys with the best offensive line of all time. But in individual sports, yeah, because that's how you do determine the best. So I agree with you. On that point, brother. But what I was speaking toward the point of what he was saying at first, like a certain person with the cachet of Deontay Wilder, yeah, maybe Deontay Wilder skips the line. Maybe he don't have to fight all those fights. You know what I'm saying? It is Deontay Wilder. Wasn't he tired, or did he have the most consecutive title defenses of that belt that he had? You know what I'm saying? So I think a person like Wilder, he get in there and knock somebody out, and I think he's starting to skip the line again. So he's skipping that line. So it's all subjective, but definitely agree that in boxing, belts, like Holyfield was undisputed in both as a cruiserweight and a heavyweight. That means something. You know what I'm saying? To me, Evander Holyfield is my favorite boxer of all time. So like that means something to me, knowing that in that specific time frame he did something that wasn't done before. It hasn't been done yet. Usyk may have a chance, but it hasn't been done yet. So I mean, outside of when he did it.
That's a good point, man. And Holyfield's a great fighter. He's one of my favorites too. And I'll fact check myself. So you were right, Mark. He didn't have a belt when he fought Mike Tyson, but he was fighting Mike Tyson for the belts. And he lost it to Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon beat him for the title. And nobody was. I mean, Tim Witherspoon wasn't a household name. So I mean, so let's just say this.
I lost the point, my brother. Remind me what was the significance? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying because you brought up a point that champions are remembered forever, like they name streets after them, et cetera, et cetera.
No, I don't. Not necessarily. They are in the history book. Remembered is another thing, but you got to write me down as a champion in the history book until I die. You got to always say former world heavyweight champion. That's what changes. But people remember, maybe not, but they do got to write. They got to address you as former world heavyweight champ. That's what I mean.
But you don't think the public opinion matters? Like they're not gonna. So you don't think our grandkids are gonna look at Charles Martin and be like, Charles Martin? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna remember Charles Martin for taking.
You know what? Our grandkids might do that, but his family ain't. His neighborhood ain't. The block that he came from ain't. His former high school teacher ain't. But some boxing fans, absolutely. My kids, your kids, absolutely. But whatever we do, we got to call him former world heavyweight champ, Charles Martin. I'm sorry, excuse me. Charles, I walk this earth like a god, Martin. But go ahead.
You know what else is crazy is how people pop dirty and the WBC, WBO, all those belts. They don't even do anything. Everybody talk about promoters as the corrupt guys. It's the belts. It's the belt holders. It's those guys. Those guys give them reason for trying to bribe them. You know they're going to try to bribe you for their fighter. That's their invested interest. It's up to them to be the clean ones and not do that stuff. Like, for instance, they could force Errol Spence after he fights Ugas to fight Crawford. You think they're going to do that?
Nope. I already said y'all ain't
How much
getting
the
that
belts
fight.
need?
I told y'all ain't getting that fight.
So that brings me back to the question again. Okay, we get it. Champions by the name, and that's what we all in the business for. Most boxers in the business for. But if the belts meant all that much, why can't they force the best to fight the best or take the belt from them and give it to somebody else?
I let Boxing Historian answer that. Good Boxing Historian question for you. Go ahead.
Well, I think you got to put the onus on the sanctioning bodies because people are going to be in their own best interest. So, the way boxing is structured right now, there ain't no damn structure. So I understand, from the standpoint that you're talking about, like, well, look at the belts. What do they really mean? The belts have been devalued since they've been doing this madness since the early to mid 80s. Is when they started all this and they started creating all these they putting juniors and supers and adding extra belts and whatnot for more sanctioning fees, creating more paper champions versus legitimate champions, which is the reason why we can look at, especially guys of today.
Question real quick. So you don't like the fact we have you don't like the fact from 47 to 60 we got 54? You don't like that?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I look at it from an old school standpoint because, a lot of these guys are a bunch of, just call it what it is. They're weight bullies. I mean, if there was no same day, and that's another thing too, the same day weigh-ins that was established a long time ago. These guys are cutting excess of 20, 25 pounds to make a certain weight and be blooming up back to like 154 when they're fighting at 135 and whatnot. That when there's no structure there, you give these guys. So I understand where boxing is it boxing
scholar, the boxing
scholar.
Y'all
Like,
got all these cool names: Megazord, boxing historian, the boxing scholar. Me and HLD is just plain Jane. I'm marqnash, HLD. Y'all got all these super names.
Hey, I like that boxing scholar, man. That's nice.
Boxing historian, Megazord, HLD and marqnash. Yeah, just regular things up here.
Yep.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So no, I mean, all these extra weight classes, 154, 160, 168. Listen, you're a middleweight. That's what you are. I mean, see that creates a lot of confusion. Then you have 4 belts in the weight division since 2006. You know, I mean, it's just a cluster F. All right, it's a cluster F. You know, with boxing. So I understand. When you look at the value of the belts, but the only way we can impossibly, because we got to put the sanctioning bodies in along with the promoters, because they're all in cahoots with each other. USADA, all this other VADA stuff, all those guys, there ain't nobody cleaning that. Not even the people testing and doing drug testing. They're all dirty. All right, they're all dirty. Everybody knows that. All right, so everybody got to be held accountable. But the only way we can really try to do anything in terms of establish any kind of structure, and the fans got to be educated as well. We got to understand that, listen, everybody that's a legitimate champion, that's who they are. That's why the guys that become the undisputed champions is the guys that we got to acknowledge. Canelo Alvarez and what's old dude's name from England, Josh Taylor. Those are the only undisputed champions currently in the sport right now. No one else, and really nobody. And with that being said, there's no legitimate actual there's champions, but they're not the champion in their weight class. So I can understand that from a certain degree, but we have to establish a certain standard so we know which, because that's what the whole point of being a boxer and being a fighter in general, any combat sport for that matter, is to be the best guy. With being the best guy and being the champion equals what? Money. Yeah. Before Mayweather became Money Mayweather, he became before Oscar De La Hoya became Golden Boy, right? Guess what they had to do? They had to become champions, and they had to become legitimate champions. And that's how we separate the champions from the paper champions. All right. And that's the only way we can establish them. So the belts in being a champion will always mean something. But it has been devalued to the point where people could say, well, look at the way these section bodies and these different promoters and the way boxing is structured right now is so crooked and so dirty. It is kind of like sold to the highest bidder, like boxing. My bad. Boxing. My man. What's his name? Boxing Scholar said a second ago.
Oh boy was just calling him Green Eyes the other day. Just call him Green Eyes. He'll answer to that too.
I ain't gonna do that.
No. Right. I wasn't even looking at his eyes. I was looking at his beard. I was jealous.
About to say boxing psychologist. My bad, but a boxing boxing scholar though. He makes a good point on that. But but at the end of the day, being the champion is what's going to lead to the big paydays and making money, which equates to being a prize fighter. It's always about the best fighting the best, the champions fighting the champions, and being the champion to show that you are the best at the end of the day.
Go ahead, pass it around. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't think belts matter, why is every single one of your favorite fighters chasing the belt? You know what I mean? So they do matter. Very good point. It's the measuring stick of how you know who's the best. Yeah, can you have entertainment? Of course, you can have some entertaining fights without belts. But if you're trying to find out who's the best, that's where it comes through, and that's why every single one of our favorite fighters has been chasing the belts. So they do matter.
Hey, real quick, I think I just found my new name. I'm gonna be the boxing psychiatrist. That's my name now.
Can I get a prescription?
I'm jumping right on that one. Pause. I like that. Martin, matter of fact, and I'm changing my logo. I'm the boxing psychiatrist. Let me change my logo and my avatar. There we go. Yeah, we go. I'm the boxing psychiatrist. Let's go. My new style. I'm tired of y'all killing me with all these HLD. You got to get something lit. You got to get lit like us. But go ahead. Go ahead, boxing scholar, boxing historian, Megazar, marqnash, aka the boxing psychiatrist.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna put all my patients on what's it called? Azuyuka. I gotta say it already. I'm gonna get everybody on that Azuyuka.
That stuff Waldo was taking.
Yeah. I'm gonna put everybody on it.
Ayahuasca.
You're gonna get some ayahuasca and a diaper.
I need a prescription.
My wife's been a nurse for over a decade, bro. I've never heard telling people, yeah, man, get some psychedelic drugs to free your mind, man. Never heard of it. If anything, baby, you need to clear your mind. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, man.
Only Megazar can say that properly, man.
Right. That's his phrase. But go ahead, boxing scholar.
You know that the UFC people be experimenting with like CBD oil, toad. That's where all that stuff come from, man. Like Brendan Schaub and the Mike Tyson pocket, all that stuff, that information from fighters and CTE and all that stuff, it all comes from that direction. But
what about sports
I think
psychiatry?
you're missing what.
You know, we got sports psychiatry is a thing. When you know what I'm saying? Why not do that? Hypnosis.
They do that before fights.
Yeah, all kind of stuff but not we ain't got to do the something that's one level under acid, right? And then go back in there and take some more punches to the brain, into the head. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think the psychedelics will mess with. I mean, if you know the history of the sport, there were crackheads who was doing crack and going out in boxing matches, and they were just fine. Michael Dokes was one of those guys. Michael Dokes was like rated like really, really high in the world at one time, and he was an actual crackhead. There's been people who shot heroin to their veins, and they were some bad boys. So, I mean,
I bet.
I don't think the drug.
But
I don't think the drugs will.
Hold on, heroin supposed to make you nod off, so they can do the heroin and go in there and kick some ass.
They can't feel no pain.
Yeah, I think that's.
But yeah,
PED. That's
hey, real quick, I'm about to drop out, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on here,
before you go plug your channel real quick, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm the boxing story on 206 on YouTube, man. That's where you can find me.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, your energy, man. You did great on the panel. When you go live and when you do your shows, so people can know how to follow.
Oh man, I be going live randomly nowadays, man. I be up in the gym now training, so it's like, man, maybe like on Saturdays and Sundays, man, I'll be going live now.
All right, cool. I'm gonna check you out, man. You got to drop your link for your channel in the chat. All right.
Oh, okay. Appreciate that.
All right. Don't let everybody in the chat drop your links. Y'all got to wait to the end of the show. But since he leaving, he can drop his link. But go ahead, my brother. Thank you for your time and energy. God bless.
No problem. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on. And peace to the chat and peace to the panel.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead, Boston Scholar.
But yeah, to the point about the belt, I'm not saying they don't mean anything. What I'm saying is basically what I was going to ask the boxing historian is they've just been watered down. So the fighters are chasing the belts, not for just a championship name, but they're also seeking protection, believe it or not. Because once you get with those belts, they could protect you. They protected people before, especially those PBC fighters. Am I lying about that?
It's an opinion. But go ahead.
So yeah, I think that the fight game, like I remember we were talking yesterday and we talked about was it yesterday before? It don't matter. But we were talking about Brock Lesnar and Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is the number one fighter in UFC right now. Right? He holds the belt. He can't demand what Brock Lesnar demand. You know why? Because Brock Lesnar has that strong following of WWE people and people who like to see theater behind them. So marquee matters more than titles. That's what that's what that message says. That message says that marquee matters more than belts. Because if I tell somebody, well, Francis Ngannou should make what Brock Lesnar make, they're gonna say you're crazy. You don't have that following.
You chopping a little bit. Say it again. Say that last part again.
I said if I tell somebody that Francis Ngannou should be able to make what Brock Lesnar makes, they would tell me I was crazy, and I would ask them why, and they say you're crazy because he doesn't have that following. Okay, marquee matters then. Marquee matters more than titles because he's the title holder, but he can't demand that.
All right, go ahead, pass the mic. Oh, and somebody said that's a strong thing to say about Michael Dokes, but I'm gonna let you know if you Google Michael Dokes drug use, and it says Dokes said he used cocaine between 48 and 72 hours before his cozy bout, but he was never given a post-fight drug test. Dokes said he began using cocaine at the age of 15 when he visited his friends in New York. He was a native of Akron, Ohio by 1983. when he was an unbeaten world champ. When he was an unbeaten world champion, Dope said he was addicted. So that's as soon as you Google Michael Dope's drug use, this is going to be the first thing to pop up. This is an article from 1987. So there you have it. So just trying to be fair, he's not trying to bash the dude. That you can look that up. But go ahead. Anybody? I think HLD was next.
My man is making a comparison of the marquee value versus the belts, and yeah, if you're talking about Ngannou wasn't in WWE. Ngannou wasn't a national wrestling college champion. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's he has a following for many years that he's built. So yeah, he does have the following. But guess what? Not all fighters have that. So so if you just want to compare it as on the business side, can somebody like Jake Paul, who ain't nobody because he has a super following on YouTube, make money in boxing? Absolutely. But to say it doesn't matter, is he the best? No, he's not. I mean, if you want to be crowned the I got more followers champion, then good for you. But that doesn't make you the best. And so I mean, it comes down to what is it that you're looking for. Now, if it's for the business side, yeah, there's ways to make money without the belt. Absolutely. Especially if you got a marquee name. Brock Lesnar's been in WWE. He's been WrestleMania, fought The Rock. Like I said, he was a national champion. So he was for a long time building a following, of who he is. And then he went into the UFC and he rocked the world for a short time. So yeah, I mean, can a man like that make money? Yeah, you can. But it was he the best? That to say for he was for a minute.
Cool. Yeah, man, hell of a show, man. Look, I love you guys, man, and I love everybody out there, and I hope y'all love yourself. It's been a hell of a show. So where we at with it? Just a little quick recap, and we're gonna let everybody do their final remarks, and we're gonna land the plane on this one. And we'll be back soon. Be back real soon. Be back real soon with another great show. On I think I'm gonna do a pop-up tomorrow. I might do a pop-up tomorrow for that verses. I think they got verses going on tomorrow. Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child. Y'all know I engineered for Music Soul Child when I was an intern at Icon Studios. Shit was super dope, super cool dude. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, we'll do a reaction to it. If y'all like some just to change the pace up. Y'all know how we do over here on Breaking Beats. So gonna change the pace up tomorrow. Probably do a pop-up on that. Yeah, Valentine's Day. So ain't nobody got no ass tonight. Or y'all got ass and then came on the show. Because y'all over here talking to me. I know what my excuse is. My wife don't feel good right now. She's sick. But did get that good hand job going, right? Now I'm joking. Baby, if you listen, I'm joking. But maybe not.
Bruh.
Whatever. Y'all know I'm joking. Yeah, so everybody give me their final thoughts and on this topic. Will Wilder retire? Should he retire? And please plug your Twitter, your Instagram, your channel, anything you got. HOD, you take the lead. What you got on this topic, bro?
On this topic, I think Wilder has made his decision, and if he's going to be using this Ayahuasca, I think it's to find peace within that decision and to walk away from the game. Just like Megazar was saying earlier. Got nothing to plug. It was a great show. I do have something to plug, man. Go check out Megazar, man. He could spit, man. He talked about he's pulling out his, he's got a new track coming out soon. I looked him up on YouTube, man. And my man can flow, man. So you got to check him out, Megazar. You just pull him up on YouTube anywhere. Marqnash, man, thank you for your time, my man. Thank you.
God bless. Appreciate you. He said, fuck Marqnash raps, though. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, appreciate you, man. Megazar is super dope. I'm about to end this episode so I can holler at him about this next episode, too. After the verses one, we're going to do another hip-hop show. Probably be breaking down these albums and ranking these artists in tiers. So we're going to have fun with that one. Make sure you pull up for that one, HOD. Thanks for your time and energy, bro.
Absolutely. Peace.
Man, you killed that shit tonight, man. Good job. Shout out to HLD. Let me see. Shout out to HLD. Let me give him a drop. Thanks for pulling up in the neighborhood. Boston Scholar, man. Take the lead, man, on this one. Your final thoughts. Will Wilder retire? Should he retire? What do you think of the clip we heard? And please plug your channel as well.
He won't retire. He'll come back. All fighters all great fighters always come back one last time, even if they stay gone. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. Muhammad Ali, everybody, they all come back because, I mean, boxing is a drug. You want to be all the way real about it. You get addicted to that, that praise and everything else. So he definitely will be back, and I think we should give him a chance. And I think anybody in the top 10, all those guys that they mentioned, Wilder beats them all. The only person that beats him is Fury.
Fair enough. And how do you feel about him taking the psychedelic drug to make that decision?
Everybody got their vice. I feel like maybe marijuana. I know he does that. I think he said it before. That ain't working for him. So he's reaching. Fighters looking for every mental. See, you the psychologist, you got to know this. Fighters always looking for that mental edge. Something I don't feel right, man. I need something to give me that And I mean, his wife seen him depressed. I mean, they got to do something. They're reaching for some type of. It sounds to me like he don't want to retire, but she probably sees like he's depressed. He's in no state to get back in the ring, so she's trying to get him to do this stuff that's gonna make him poop on himself. I wouldn't do it, but hey, I mean, if it was gonna make me a better fighter, the same reason people take steroids. If you think it's gonna make you better in the ring, why not do it?
Because it's illegal and it's cheating.
Not the steroids. I mean, the other stuff is legal.
The other shit probably legal too, man. I don't think that's a legal drug. You get caught with a pound of, how you say, ayahuasca in the car. What do you get? How you say it? Ayahuasca. Get caught with a half ounce of ayahuasca, man. They're gonna put him under the jail.
So check this out,
Right?
Marq.
I'm joking, but I'm serious. Like, that shit ain't legal, is it?
They take protein shakes and stuff right now. That's technically cheating. That ain't natural.
That's legal, man. It's legal. Protein is legal, man.
Joe Louis wasn't taking no protein
shakes. Ayahuasca is probably not. Steroids is not.
Joe Louis wasn't taking no protein shakes. He wasn't in no cryo chambers. He wasn't taking no oxygen. All that stuff is modern science. So is what is legal and what ain't legal. It gives you an unfair advantage that Joe Louis didn't have.
Yeah, I get it, but Joe Louis didn't have the science. They didn't have that then. And if they had it available, but you know what they did have? They had a tub of ice. I'm sure he got in the tub of ice. That's legal. The other shit is just
steroids is the science. So what if somebody say, well, these hormones I'm taking, legal, they're not making me a better fighter?
Hold on. It sounds like you saying you okay in steroid use, bro.
No. The UFC people take steroids. And the argument is, this is exactly what they say.
Is it okay?
They
Are you cool with people taking steroids? I'm just trying to get some clarity on that. Okay.
Nah.
So what we on here? I'm sorry.
So the point I was making is that people now have unfair advantages because of the science, is what you just said. Steroids are a part of that science. There hasn't been no proof that growth hormone increases you in the ring, makes you a better fighter. You just feel like a better fighter. So
hold on, you said
it's illegal? No.
Hold on, you said there's no science to say what, because you got a lot of static in your line now. It's a little choppy. Say that again.
So the debate, I watched Joe Rogan, right? Obviously, right? So the debate on there was, does steroids make you a better fighter? Specifically HGH. And the guy was like, no. HGH it only makes you recover faster. So when we're younger, we have a lot of HGH, so we recover faster. So what Joe Rogan's argument was, well, when you get older, you naturally decline in HGH. So if you just bring it back up to normal levels, is that cheating? Because you're exploiting the science, but it doesn't give you an unfair advantage inside the ring. It won't make you punch harder or anything. So that was the debate on the show, and I understood it. Even though I don't think you should take any of it, all of it could be considered steroids. If Joe Louis was alive today, he would say, you taking oxygen to recover? Wait a minute, that's cheap.
All right, fair enough.
So
we got to come back and revisit this one. Got to revisit that. Good conversation. You got anything you want to plug and promote? Please plug and promote your channel. I didn't see the episode, but I did. Gonna go back and check it out, and I'm gonna share it on the channel. So go ahead. What you got for me?
You could find me on YouTube at the Boxing Scholar. You could type it all in one word, it'll come up, but it's a space in between Scholar. And like I said, man, I'm gonna always show up to support you when I can add to the channel. If I can't add, I'm gonna stay in my lane and just hit the like button. But man, We definitely got to get a versus between me and you, man. I got some bars for you.
You got some bars for me?
Yeah, you know my rap name is?
The Boxing Scholar.
The Teller.
The Teller. Okay, let me get a verse. Let me get a verse from the Teller. Let me get a verse before we go.
I'll just play, man. I ain't no rapper. I was just joking with you. I just want to see what you would say.
Oh, shit. I was going to put you on the spot. Me, you, and Megazar were going to close out the show with a verse.
No, man. I actually looked for the guy's channel in the corner. I couldn't find him.
Who? The Boxing Historian?
That one in
Megazar?
Megazar.
Yeah, he's about to plug it now. Reggie said freestyle. Megazar. How do you find your music? How does he find your music, Megazar? And how does he find your stuff?
Well, I mean, he could put the name how he sees it on YouTube. Just put it in the YouTube search, and everything I got on YouTube will come up. And you can put that same name exactly how you see it, MGA-CZAR. You can put that in the Google search, and my Bandcamp, my SoundCloud, all that'll come up. My new project, Diamonds Among Men, is going to be on all streaming platforms. So your Apple Music, your titles, your Spotify's, all that, it'll be on there. But you could actually type me in on some of that. I'm on some of that too, on features that I'm on. So yeah, like I said, you type the name exactly how you see it, MGA-CZAR on Google, YouTube, even on the other streaming platforms. Whatever songs I'm featured on will come up for sure.
All right, so dope. Megazar, well, that's how you plug your channel. That's dope. Make sure you plug it like that every time, bro. We need it like that every time. Yeah. Talk to me. What's your give me your final thought on this topic, my brother?
Like I said, I just maintain what I've been saying. I believe the decision has already been made by Deontay Wilder, and I feel like the experimentation with Ayahuasca is for him to see if this is really the route that he want to take, so he can be at peace with it, so he could experience a form of vulnerability with this decision that he hasn't come to grips with yet. So I pretty much think the brother is leaning toward retirement. I wouldn't be surprised if he decided not to, but I think he's leaning toward retirement. Like I said, I don't think it's because physically he's in decline. I still think he has. I still think he's the most athletic heavyweight in terms of just raw athleticism. I just think mentally, he seems like he checked out of the whole politics and the whole BS, and coming from a place of being always at odds with something, it could take that toll on you. So, you know.
All right, well, shoot, that's it, man. What a show. What a show. Hey, did everybody? Okay, I found my sub. All right, peace out. Shout out to my guy, Boston Scholar. Thank you for your time and energy, bro. See you on the next one. God bless. That's it, man. That's all I got for this one. Megazar, hang out right there for me real quick. Let me run this outro.
Yes, sir.
Look, man, it's been another great episode of Breaking Beats, where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like talking about, guys. We do not have to agree, but we got to agree to respect each other, respect each other's opinion, and realize, hey, look, this show ain't about changing nobody's mind. It's about having a respectful dialogue, all right? Not always feeling challenged, not always trying to challenge someone. Sometimes you just got to let people have their opinion, and you got to move forward, all right? So, look, let me put this up real quick. If you want to get some of the merch, we got some dope merch on the website. This is the new piece right here. What can I say? You can put in the promo code NASH27. That's all caps. Let me put it on the screen, NASH27. Promo code right here. Go to marqnash.com, marqnash.com. When you go to the store and you check out, put in NASH27, get 15% off. So that's enough for free shipping, and it should take a couple dollars off your product as well. So shout out to you all. Also go to Tab Tech, unlocksim.com. Hey, look, I'm gonna end the show different tonight too, man. I'm gonna run the outro. God, hey, look, everybody, real quick, let me know what kind of phone you got. Who got what phone are you using? Because I'm trying to do some new things, and I'm about to get a new phone myself, but trying to see what you guys what phone you guys are using. And are you guys iPhone users? Are y'all more Droids? What iPhone you got? What Android you got? Let me know in the chat. All right, so please, but also plug your channel, your Twitter, your Instagram, anything you got you want to plug and promote. This is the time to drop the link. All right, it's your man Marq Nash. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. You already know what we do. It's a hip hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We're gonna let the jokes fly. You know why? Because life is serious enough, man. I wish Deontay Wilder nothing but the best. I wish him health, wealth, and prosperity. And yeah, man, I don't always agree with everything that he says, but shoot, like I always tell you, I don't agree with everything my daughter says. She thinks she should eat candy and ice cream all day. I disagree. So that's just the way life goes. I don't want y'all to be out there. I'm an unsub because he was hating on the brother, man. I love the brother. Wish him nothing but the best. But look, part of love is telling people how you really feel. So smash that like button if you didn't already. Somebody said iPhone in here. Okay, they got an iPhone 13. iPhone said I'm working with the cracked phone. Who you got? What kind of phone you got, Nick Rich? You got an iPhone or Android? Let me know. Oh, you working with a cracked phone right now? Oh, oh, okay, I get it. All right, cool. All right, well, that's it, man. Let me run this outro. I love y'all. I see you on the next one. It's your man marqnash breaking beats. Peace.
This that squad sound. This is weird now.
Oh, and shout out to my mama. My mama was to watch the show at some point today. I looked up. She sent me a $25 cash app. So my mama, Edith, thank you, mama, sent me $25 on the cash app. Let me give her the drop.
We call this here a little twin. Wow. Nigga.
And she threw the 5 on it. Let's go. 25. Thanks, mama.
I got 5 on it.
Man, Mom Dukes came through. I appreciate that, man. My mom is dope, right? That was so nice of her. Shout out to Miss Edith. All right, man. Let me talk to Megazar about this next show we're going to do with this hip-hop thing.